thumbnail that I've got to put it in there. You know, the thumbnail was just so perfect. That was actually me getting caught slipping between poses. But I'll keep that thumbnail just because of how great it looks. Let me see that thumbnail again. Give me a second here, guys. It's a good thumbnail. That could be attached to anything. Don't upset Guru. He's sensitive. I'm not sensitive. I'm here and listening. Don't talk behind my back, mister. Juru, what's up, baby? How's it going, dude? Oh, Lord, he ain't playing with a thumbnail. I'm not playing with a thumbnail. I'm done with it now. Hi, what's up? How's it going? I'm out of breath for some bizarre reason. We're good. Gang, gang. Sup? Who would you pick in Ferguson versus Hooker? In a 3-rounder, I pick Dan Hooker to smash his face in. In a 5-rounder, Ferguson will probably win because there is a clear problem with the pacing of Dan Hooker. He gets too excited and he can't control himself. You need to have some level of self-control if you're going to be able to go 5 rounds at a championship level. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Dan Hooker in a 3-rounder. Tony Ferg in a 5. Seems pretty fair. You were playing with the thumbnail, don't deny it. I actually only took 3, but okay, keep the accusations coming. Yo, look at Jan's wife. She's so fucking sexy. Oh my God, he says. I have seen Jan's wife. I was not shocked and flabbergasted by the looks of her, although I did not notice she was ugly. So I guess that's a good thing. She must be pretty good looking. But it didn't shock me, so maybe I'm not seeing the right picture here. You know? Piotr Jan, wife. There's no images. Very interesting. Let me try again. I mean, there's not really much choice out there in Siberia, I guess. So, I mean, she's good. She's good. Pretty good. I like it. I like it very much. Masvidal beats Usman. McGregor wins the 170-pound title. I mean, it's his best chance if Masvidal's in there with him. I don't think he would at 170. I think he'd beat him anything below 170, but I don't think he'd win it at 170. Especially if Masvidal goes out there and beats Usman. Because that just puts him at another level up. Like, Masvidal now is Masvidal now, but if Masvidal can go out there and destroy Usman in the first round on short notice, he's then a little bit higher, you know? Mark my words, journeyman Jorge is getting mauled. That's my prediction, so you won't be marking any words. No, I'm not going to say that because that's a different language. I'm not risking saying that. Did Tyson Fury cheat? No. He didn't. He didn't. Deontay Wilder's cornermen were in his locker with him while he had his hands wrapped, while he put the gloves on. They tested the gloves. There was nothing wrong with him. If there's nothing wrong with him, don't let him go out there and fight. I mean, or let him go out there and fight. If you have something wrong with the gloves, then how about you just say, hey, there's something wrong with these gloves. Don't let him go out there. Unless Deontay Wilder's team was in on it and they wanted Wilder to lose for the sake of a trilogy. Who knows? You never know. Like, Wilder's team could be out there thinking, you know what? He won the first one. Well, it was a draw the first one. If he wins, they might not give Fury the trilogy. So let's just let him lose. Maybe that's why they threw. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting too deep into the conspiracy theory, but you know, you never know. He put on like 15 pounds, didn't he? Who are we talking about? Guru been busting nuts off stream, all sweaty and out of breath. I have not been busting nuts off stream. That has yet to happen today. I think Jorge will land a couple of good shots, but when Usman gets a hold of him, Masvidal will regret being in the cage when he feels Usman's strength. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. Coby, why does my stepsister always ask what you were doing, step bro, but never how are you, step bro? I couldn't give a fuck. Bullshit. Edmund Shabazian versus Israel Adesanya. Thoughts? It would be interesting. Edmund Shabazian versus Israel Adesanya. It would be very interesting. I would go with Israel Adesanya very much so. I'm still not convinced by Edmund Shabazian. I mean, I did watch the fight with Darren Stewart, and it wasn't the best performance in the world, seeing as Darren Stewart just got dominated by Bartosz Verbinski over at Cage Warriors. I just feel as though, you know, Edmund's still got some things to prove. Fair enough, you can KO Tavares in the first round. Is it the same Tavares as we've always seen? Maybe not, but you did KO Tavares in the first round. You've been busting. You guys 12. I actually haven't. I don't get it. Edmund needs a couple Shark Tank fights, then I'll see about him. Yeah, he needs a couple. He needs to beat Brunson, and even then, let's see him get one more. Is Frankie still fighting? No, he turned down Ricky Simone, which I get. I'm not coming at Frankie Edgar for turning down Ricky Simone. I mean, Why would he take on Ricky Simone? It makes no sense. He's unranked. It's not like Faber where you actually get a ranked opponent to come back to with Ricky Simone and then you can establish yourself in the rankings. I mean, if Frankie Edgar beats Ricky Simone, what does he get? Number 12? Below Cruz, number 13? I don't know. It's just, I don't blame Frankie Edgar for not taking it. And honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I've already had the anticipation of Edgar versus Munoz. The fight night isn't even the biggest part of the fights. The looking forward to the fights is the biggest part of the fights. And we've already had that with Edgar versus Munoz. Now, if they want to rebook that fight for somewhere else to bump up another card, I am all ears. If they want to do UFC 252, Edgar versus Munoz on the main card, that's adding to the main card. Simone is unranked. What the fuck? Yeah, he lost to Uriah Faber. And Faber wasn't ranked when he beat him. Masvidal has never been finished ever. I don't know how Usman is going to do it. I see Jorge by TKO or Usman by decision. I think Usman by decision, 50-45, maybe 50-46. The fifth round might be a bit of trouble because Masvidal is not going to be in 5-round shape. However, and here's what I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. Dustin Poirier comes out and says that Jorge Masvidal has been in the gym training all day, every day, as if he has a fight, and he doesn't know why. And he was starting to get a little bit weird. And there was all this suggestion about maybe Masvidal knew that Gilbert Burns was going to pull out and all of that, because Poirier was basically saying that Masvidal has been in the gym training like he has a fight. But Masvidal came out and said that no, he hasn't. Who's up here, man? Masvidal came out and said no, he hasn't. And said he's only been training 3 days a week. So I don't understand what's going on. Is Masvidal tricking Usman to becoming overconfident? Or is Masvidal setting up his escape plan? I'm not sure. We'll see, though. I just don't know why he would lie about something like that. I've never known Masvidal to be a liar or a beta or a master manipulator and mind game player. He kind of just has always said it how it was. So it seems weird that he's doing this now. But okay. You know, if he feels like he needs to get inside the head of Usman, I'm all for it. I'd love to see it. I want him to KO Usman stiff. Masvidal's playing tricks. He could be. Santos versus... And if he is, if you are playing tricks and mind games, Masvidal, I think you're going to maybe need to let Poirier know because he's out there blagging and telling everyone. So, you know, maybe you should let Poirier know a little bit. I see Aldo winning by KO as well. I don't see that happening at all. He's tricking him, an escape plan. Dustin said it himself. He's been training non-stop. I don't know. Who you got for Santos Glover? I've got Thiago Santos. But I don't know. Because Glover Teixeira, after beating Anthony Smith, is kind of like... I've got Thiago Santos. I do. But Glover's such an old fucking annoying fuck that could get in the way of everything. And I hope that the pair of them know that the winner of this is not going to get a title shot versus John Jones. I just want that to be clear. Before Glover wins this fight and says he's not taking anything other than a title shot, Blachowicz and Reyes, it's between them, if not both of them, fighting for a vacant belt. Like the winner of Santos versus Glover, I don't feel is going to be getting a title shot. You understand? Glover Teixeira, the resurrection. We'll see, man. Glover's got a real good chance. I'd like to see the odds. I'm imagining they're not going to have him too much of an underdog, but I mean, Glover, man, turning back the clock once again. Dangerous, dangerous guy. Glover is a nightmare to bet on, drives you crazy, I know. It's difficult with Glover because he gets rocked even when he wins. Like, he always has to go through some kind of adversity. Against Nikita Krylov, it was kind of like a bit of a stalemate, and he just kind of got the better of some rounds by taking Nikita Krylov down at the end of the rounds. But, I mean, Glover Teixeira's grappling's not, I mean... very good, you know, very, very good. But then Ion Cutelaba cracks him with a spinning back fist. Like, there's all these worrying moments in Glover's fights. Carl Roberson almost finished Glover Teixeira. Not a lot of people know about that. A lot of close fights here. Helon Glover will lose to anybody in the top 5. Yeah, Anthony Smith is not the best guy in the top 5. So, I mean, he might not even be in the top 5 right now, but he's not the best by any means whatsoever. O'Malley or Yan? Yan would win. Lol, did you see when Usman and Guru missed each other by 1 second at the lift? You mean Masvidal? Usman saw his hair and looked the other way. I mean, I don't know. I want to maybe break that down. $2 from Chris Jackson. Thank you very much. Usman Khabib, how are fighting style different? Same. I don't fucking know. Usman's more willing to stand up with people, and he doesn't really use his striking just to usher guys to the cage. Like, Usman will be quite patient on the feet, whereas Khabib kind of rushes forward just to get guys to the cage and push them there. And Usman will settle in a clinch more than Khabib will. Khabib won't lean on you against the cage. You know, he will always be going for something. He'll be deep in on a double leg. He'll be trying to drag you to the ground. And also, Khabib advances position. And yeah, there you go. Toast Usman camps half guard. He does. Camps half guard, spreads his weight over you, 6 foot tall, biggest guy in the division. Uses his weight, you know. Just discovered your channel the other day. Appreciate the content. Thank you very much, Johnny Boy Boxing. Cheeto will test his cardio and ground game. We'll see. We'll see what happens in Cheeto versus O'Malley, because as much as I like Marlon Vera, and I think he might be a dark horse of the division, and I do think he did beat Song Yadong, there are some losses on his resume that we do have to take into consideration, because as much as I would like to believe that he has reinvented himself as a fighter, he did still lose to Douglas Silva, the Andrade, and John Lineker, but, you know, John Lineker's really good, you know? So we'll see. It's a tough one. He did beat Brian Kelleher, Brad Pickett. Like, there are a lot of good names on his resume, and he's built himself a nice little wage and salary because of it. It's just a bit, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to come a time where we just don't see Vera be able to break through the limit of his own ceiling, you know? We'll see what happens, man, because he does seem to be getting by, beating a lot of these good guys. But those good guys are good guys. Andre Yor, Nohelin Hernandez, Frankie Saenz, like, they're good names, don't get me wrong. But, you know, O'Malley getting exposed soon? I don't think so. I think he'll win his next 2 and then he'll get exposed. Also, I can't believe Thiago's almost 37. Man looks 30. I mean, I was shocked when I heard it as well. I thought he was this young up-and-comer finally looking to start his career at light heavyweight and take it to John Jones. And he's 37. Like, it's ridiculous. What are the chances Masvidal can beat Usman? I'd say 35%. Maybe no. I'd say 25%. He's got a quarter of a chance to go out there and land something big in the first round. I don't see it happening, though. Because even against other guys, Masvidal doesn't land it in the first round. Like, I like Jorge Masvidal. However, other than the Darren Till KO and the Askren KO, which, if you play that fight 10 times, it doesn't go that way 10 times. But still, he predicted the knee. It happened. Nate Diaz is not a top 170 pounder, man. I understand he beat Anthony Pettis, who broke his foot in the first round, but Nate Diaz is not a top 170 pounder. Nate Diaz is not even a top 155 pounder. He beat a McGregor coming up from featherweight to 170 with staph infection. Good fucking job. You beat McGregor in the rematch. No, you lost to McGregor in the rematch, despite him breaking his foot in the first round. I don't know, man. I just don't think that Nate is this title elimination bout, in my opinion. Chris Jackson, $2. Who should step in to fight Frankie Edgar? I don't think anyone should step in. They should just see when it's leaving Pedro Munoz's system, have him quarantined for 14 days, tell him to stay in shape, and we'll get him back on the main card of UFC 252. But if they do want to step in, I mean, Ricky Simone tried to step in, but Frankie Edgar turned him down. So I don't know if he's just turning down the name of Ricky Simone. But the fact that they've offered him Ricky Simone kind of tells me that they don't really have anyone else. So we'll see what happens. I don't know why they did what they did. They should have just done Cody Stamann versus Frankie Edgar and then done Jimmy Rivera versus Ricky Simone. Just something like that, just to make ends meet. Or Jimmy Rivera versus Frankie Edgar because, you know, they're both East Side. They're both coming off losses. It makes more sense. What's next for Leon Edwards? Gilbert Burns. It's still not the big name that he wants, and it probably still won't get him a title shot, but, you know, Gilbert Burns. I mean, if Leon Edwards beats Gilbert Burns and Covington beats Woodley, Covington's getting a title shot. Like, it's just tough being Leon Edwards at the moment. It really is. Dilbert, Usman lied, said Colby refused when Dana said he wasn't even a backup option. Marty fake news. Usman lied. Masvidal lied as well then. Dana White didn't even say he was an option. And Masvidal and Usman both came out to say that Colby turned him down. They lie about Colby so much. Honestly, I've been saying this for years. None of them want Colby in an ideal world. I know Usman beat Colby, don't get me wrong. So Usman's maybe a different situation. But all of these people calling out Colby, like Woodley and Masvidal, they know he's not just this all talker. Like, they've trained with him. I've watched Colby Covington get fucking ride outs on Masvidal twice now on 2 different occasions in 2 different video formats. Like, we know what happens when they grapple. Colby would beat Masvidal. Like, I don't understand this. Just don't come out and say that he would beat you, and that's why I'm not talking. But don't lie and say that he was offered the Usman fight before you. Of course he wasn't. Dana White just confirmed it, but well, according to this guy, Dana White confirmed it. But still, it's fucking crazy. You can't win off illegal shots. Yeah, I went back and watched my video reacting to that fight because someone messaged it and just said, angry libtards in the comments. I was like, oh, what was this video? And it was Usman versus Covington reaction video. It's crazy how immediately after these fights happen, I get so much shit for saying certain things. Like the Tony Ferguson-Justin Gaethje fight. The commentary wasn't biased. You're just salty. Ferguson won 0 rounds. What are you talking about? And then, you know, a little bit of time passes. All of a sudden, the guru's looking pretty good, you know? Bro, I just got tested for COVID. Interesting. I've just said the word. Now my stream is demonetized. I might ban you, but I'm not going to because I'm very fair of a leader, you know? That was me about the libtards. It might have been you. I don't actually know, but hopefully it was. That would be cool. Jorge is getting old. He won't be champion for long. I don't know. I just think if he is going to become champion, it's going to be now. I don't think he has... listen, he definitely has the star power to win one fight after this and get a title shot again. But the momentum at 35 years of age, I think if he doesn't get the title shot and Usman's still champion... I mean, if he doesn't win the title... If he doesn't win the title and Usman's still champion, I don't see him going back for another attempt at Usman. I see him going Nate Diaz, win that fight in a rematch, Conor McGregor, try and get that fight at all costs, then look for something else, then maybe Nick Diaz and try that one. Yeah, I think it'd be... I mean, losing on short notice is no hard feelings, so he's got it all figured out, you know. Will Jorge versus Usman be identical to Khabib versus Conor? And how surprised would you be if Jorge subs Usman? I wouldn't be. I'd be very surprised because Usman's just so big. And I don't think it's going to be like Khabib McGregor. Not too much. Actually, it could be. Probably will be at some points. But Usman's more adept on the feet than Khabib is, just because of his range and his size, you know. $2 from Alejandro Sanchez. I am Sofa King. We did very cool. I'm not going to say that, but thank you for the $2, Alejandro Sanchez. I'd like to be monetized. Jorge flying knee off the bat. I hope so. I really, really hope so. Crazy how people are counting out Usman. No one is. I think it's very unanimous that they think that Usman's going to win. No one's counting out Usman at all. But I know what you're... Whatever, you're just one of those guys. It's all good. Glover versus Santos opinions. I think that it's a very dangerous fight for Santos, especially coming off an injury, because if I was a top contender, I would rather lose to a lot of people rather than Glover Teixeira. Like, if Thiago Santos comes back and has a fight with Jan Blachowicz in a rematch and loses, well done, you came off an injury, dude. That's okay. But if you come back and lose to Glover Teixeira, injury or not, that guy should not be top 5. And it's an embarrassment that Anthony Smith lost to him. I know that it's mean to say that because Glover Teixeira is a nice guy, and I'm sure. But if this sport is to be credible whatsoever, and that light heavyweight division is to be credible whatsoever, he shouldn't be anywhere near the top 5. That's a fact. And that shows you how empty the light heavyweight division is. The fact that Glover Teixeira and Shogun Rua can still be ranked shows you how dead that weight class is. But still, we got some guys coming up. We'll see what happens. Lawler versus Woodley too. That'd be a decent matchup. I mean, Shell Woodley would go for it because he's definitely not going to go for the Covington fight because he was asked if he wanted Covington. He said he can't think of a guy right now. So clearly he doesn't want Colby Covington. He only wants Colby on short notice. Sorry, Guru. Anthony Smith. Yeah, Anthony Smith's just a weird one. Anthony Smith is the guy in the rankings that I would love to fight. You know, if I had to pick anyone in the top 10, not even the top 5 or top 6, to make my debut in the UFC against, just for chance-wise, I would go with Anthony Smith. There's no way I'm stepping in there with Rakic, Ozdemir, or Krylov in my UFC debut. I'd try it out with Anthony Smith, even though he's ranked above those guys. My odds, I feel like, would be better against Smith. You know? He would fuck you up bad. I know he would. He would beat me, most likely. Well, very likely, but still. Doesn't mean my odds can't be better against him than some other guys, you know? Aldo looks like a joke now. Yeah, he does. He does a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's covering his face in the interviews with his mask on. He definitely doesn't want us to see those cheekbones, but, you know, it's all good. I think that's just enough of a sign anyway. I also don't know why these fighters are wearing the mask in a video-to-video Skype call. All of them are doing it. Like I've noticed. Take it off. They're not in front of you. Like they're not going to catch it through the fucking screen. Like, I don't understand. Richard Branson's not going to ship it over in 5G to the other guy. Well, we're not going to get into conspiracies about 5G. But anyway, if Usman disgraces Masvidal, does Masvidal's stock go down? I'd say 55-45. Say 55-45. Oh, you can't go above 50. You can't. Usman's not going to win 11-9 rounds or 11-8 rounds. It caps at 10. So it would be 50-45, or maybe in your case, if they're all 10-8s, 50-40. His stock would go down if he lost that embarrassingly. But if he even has a moment of success in this fight, his stock is safe because he's taken it on short notice, guys. It's a great little, oh, well, it was on short notice. The next fight will be on full camp, even though this one was on full camp anyway, as Dustin Poirier just told us. You know? Too many people counting out Aldo. They're not. They're really appropriately judging the fight that Yan will win. I know. That's whatever, man. I'm sick of that kind of shit. Counting him out. They're not counting him out. That's just the way the odds work, dude. Yan's a favorite. People are going to pick Yan above Aldo. That's just how it looks. By the way, Aldo looks drained as fuck today. We'll see. We'll see how he recovers. You know, that's the only thing that matters. This is Jose's chance to become a new champ again. Hope he fucking brings it. I was thinking about this because even though Jose's lost to Holloway twice, Holloway ain't champ no more. He's lost to Volkanovski once, and it was, dare I say, the least dominant performance of Volkanovski's career. I mean, I know that Volkanovski won the fight fair and square and very clearly 2-1, if not 3-0. But, you know, he didn't dominate or hurt Aldo at all. So, in any case, if Aldo gets the 135-pound belt, I would not be surprised if he tries to go back for the 45-pound one. And I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC entertains it as well. So, we'll see what happens. Alex Volkanovski has a cut on his nose. Okay, cool. They're fighters. I'm sure he'll be fine with a cut on his nose. Who has better beat, especially on the nose? If it's on the eyebrow or the eyelid or somewhere like that, there'd be a bit more of a problem, like Coby versus Lawler kind of situation with it on the eyelid. But if it's on his nose, I mean, that's not going to hinder him in a fight so much, you know? Aldo versus Aldo, who wins? Aljo versus Aldo, who wins? I actually like Aldo's chances in that fight, honestly. And that's disgusting of me to say. But I really don't mind his chances there. Because Aljo's good, but style-wise, Aldo's got a real good chance of beating Aljo. $2. Thank you, Alejandro Sanchez. I go with Aljo, though. I'd say he would win. But Aldo's got a real good chance there. $2. Brian Ortega versus Nate Diaz, 155 pounds. Who wins? Brian Ortega versus Nate Diaz, 155. Probably I don't want Nate Diaz to cut down to 55 anymore. I think he'd die and probably just completely shut down his brain overall. But I don't mind Ortega's chances. I'll probably go with Nate come to fight night, but I mean Ortega's got a good chance of 55, especially with Nate draining himself, you know. Alejandro Sanchez, Nate spanks him. Yeah, I'd pick Nate closer to the time. What's Lamas's chances of winning? Pretty high, because Darren Elkins could avoid the submission. If Darren Elkins can avoid the submission, I feel like Ricardo Lamas can avoid it and then do damage on top of it. I think Lamas has a really good chance. Nate has a brain. Well, you know, I'm just going off the rumors. Do you watch other sports? Other sports. Jesus, what other sports are there? You know, boxing. Oh my God, don't even start. Boxing is not even in the same league as MMA, okay? But boxing's okay. I pay attention to the big fights, you know. You're spazzing out here. No, I'm just reacting to what some delusional question in the chat. Do I watch other sports? Johnny Boy Boxing, $2. How would you feel about Tony versus Dustin? I'd probably go with Dustin winning that fight, and I wouldn't feel the best about it because we'd be waiting until the new year because Dustin Poirier is not going to be fighting until February, apparently, he says. So I'm not having Ferguson wait that long. You know, Ferguson ain't got long left, guys. Like, Ferguson's eventually going to be thinking about retirement, even though he's a Mexican boogeyman. He is going to be 37, or he might already be 37. I'm not even sure. But yeah, no. You know. Yeah, I'm saying, guys, it's just age is a real thing, you know, and he's got to make it happen while he's still a little bit young. You understand? Even though he's not even young. Adesanya is going to piece up Paulo Costa. You agree? No, I think Paulo Costa is going to beat him. I agree, man. Thanks, dude. Thank you very much, Johnny Boy Boxing, for the $2. Appreciate it. Is boxing officially dead? Well, Johnny Boy Boxing just donated, so boxing's really good sport, man. I'm loving the way it's going right now, man. What fight they got this weekend? Ah, okay, cool. What about that fight they've got on next weekend? That boxing fight that's on. Oh, okay. That's not happening. Next month, that fight just happening? Oh, okay. No, never mind. Only MMA is able to do that because we got Dana fucking White in charge. You know what I mean? $2 from Toast. Usman Yan parlay, 100 returns 100. I put 500 on it. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Good luck to you, good sir. Thank you for the $2. Fury versus Wilder 3. Well, Fury's already 2-0 up, so even though I actually thought the first fight was a bit closer than I remember. In the early rounds, I rewatched it. Yesterday. My sleeping schedule's all fucked up. Maybe yesterday, maybe the day before in the early hours of the morning. So still yesterday, because it's officially... So whatever, yesterday. But I don't know what time it was. But I don't know. The first fight was kind of close. I could see if a judge was a little bit retarded, he could maybe give a round to Wilder. But 2 rounds to Wilder out of those early rounds is a little bit of a push. But one of them is up for grabs. But to give him 2 rounds is a bit of a push, you know? But whoever gave the score to Wilder to win is a disgrace to the sport of boxing. But the person who gave him a draw, you know, I get it. I don't know. It was close, but still, I thought Fury won, if I had to give it to someone. But, you know, Fury 2-0 up, he beat him in the trilogy as well. I mean, what's Wilder going to do? Land the KO punch? He's got that chance every time, and he hasn't been able to do it twice now on Tyson Fury, so it's going to be a problem. Poirier's resume is the best besides Khabib. He has the best resume. Miller, Pettis, Ferreira, Gaethje, Alvarez, Holloway, and Hooker. Yeah, Poirier's got a great resume. If he does go on to beat Khabib and revoke that loss off of his record or remove that loss from his record, then Poirier's... I mean, if Poirier becomes champ and defends greatest lightweight of all time, like, his resume is fucking ridiculous, you know? I agree, Prime Fury beats Ali. Yeah, Ali is... I mean, come on, guys. Everyone back in the day is worse than everyone now. That's just a fact. Guru, do you think we will see any robberies by judges at UFC 251? I would not be surprised if Masvidal versus Usman was a big old slugfest that they saw a couple rounds in favor of Masvidal. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if for some reason Holloway gets a decision win over Volkanovski. Trust me, the way the judging has been going recently and the way Joe Rogan's commentary and the commentary in general has been affecting the judging, they're definitely going to be biased towards Masvidal. No, wait. The other two are going to be biased towards Masvidal. Yeah, go downstairs, bitch. Yeah, you go down. They were coming upstairs. Usman versus Masvidal. Joe Rogan probably side with Usman, but they're going to be all over Max Holloway, anything he does. I guarantee you they don't call out a single inside leg kick from Alexander Volkanovski. $5. Alejandro Sanchez. How would the welterweight division play out when Masvidal wins on Saturday? When, not if. Okay, thank you very much for making me almost say it, but thank you for the $5. If Masvidal wins, do him versus the winner of Colby versus Woodley if it's Colby, or the winner of Edwards versus Burns, whoever it is, if Woodley beats Colby, you know? Yeah, go downstairs, bitch. $8 Australian dollars. No, $10. Thank you very much. I swear if you start hocking off Ridge wallets at any point, I'm going to lose it, Guru. That brings me to my newest segment. Imagine if that was the big opening of my sponsor. I'm never going to get sponsored by Ridge Wallet, you know. Thank you for the $10, though, dude. I appreciate that. Australian buckaroonies, man. Guru, what if Douglas Lima went to UFC? I think he would beat a lot of guys. I reckon he'd stand a real good chance of beating Leon Edwards. I think he'd have a real good chance and probably would beat Gilbert Burns just because of his takedown defense. He'd smoke Woodley. He'd have a good chance against Wonderboy, especially with the leg kicks. Listen, you can't even deny that. If Lima got signed against Wonderboy and he was an underdog, I'm just saying, man. Lima's got a good style to beat Wonderboy. Lima might have the best style to beat Wonderboy. So I don't know, man. Lima's got good matchups for him. Lima's the only guy outside the UFC that I think could stand a chance. I mean, Gegard could probably come back and beat Uriah Hall again, and Derek Brunson and Omari Akhmedov. But I think when it comes to the top of the division, Gegard might be too far past his prime. But in his prime, he could hang with anyone. But he might be a little bit too far past it now to hang with the top five. Unless he goes out there with Darren Till and gets a nice little takedown early. But, that's not very likely to happen. But still, Lima's the only real guy I consider a threat. Chandler, I think Chandler's a fucking roid head, man. I don't know why people don't do it. The Lux Factory, $5. If Masvidal loses the first 2 rounds, by the way, I'm going live for 2 hours today. Get used to it. I think his stock goes down. Would love to see Covington versus Edwards, then Usman versus Burns. Win a fight for the title. Yes. That'd be pretty cool. But if Masvidal gets finished, the hype might be finished. Having that loss, especially to Usman by finish, if it isn't illegal strikes to the back of the head like Colby Covington, where there's some kind of excuse. I know, man. For Usman to finish you, just be a bit interesting as the guy in Masvidal who doesn't get finished, If the Usman's the one guy who can finish him, it'd be a little bit annoying. But oh well. Rory Macdonald versus Coby Covington. Thank you for the $5, by the way, Lux Factory. I appreciate you. Volkan is overrated. He is so sloppy. He's not, though. He's calculated. He's not sloppy. He looks it, but he knows what he's doing, guys. I promise you. He's not sloppy. Because how often do you see Volkan Ozdemir tagged with a big shot? He got hit by DC a couple times, but you rarely ever see him with his chin wide out in the open getting cleaned by someone. You don't see it. I don't know. I just think Volkan Ozdemir, I don't think he's sloppy at all, actually. I just think he's a little bit slow, but he knows how to work with it by putting the pressure on guys and feinting a lot. I don't think Volkan Ozdemir is sloppy. Calm down. Lima got taken down by an old Rory. Usman and Colby take him down and beat the shit out of him. I never said that Usman and Colby wouldn't do that. I think they would do that to Douglas Lima. I'm just saying Leon Edwards, on the other hand, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, on the other hand. Listen, Wonderboy lost to Pettis, and I predicted it to happen. In the second round by finish as well. I was that dead on. But the leg kicks from Lima on Wonderboy, listen, if he goes out there and lands 3 of them on the calf, that might be game over for Wonderboy. It's not even a case if Wonderboy wins. It's a case if Wonderboy can survive a few leg kicks. Lima's perfect to beat Wonderboy. And as a person who predicts Wonderboy's fights perfectly over the years, I reckon I got a good little viewpoint, Lies Guru, I reckon you'd have a good chance against Anthony Smith. He couldn't even KO the home intruder. Interesting. Honestly, put me on some PCP and meth and I'll take him out, man. I'll take him out. I really will. I'll go through his neighborhood, screaming in their pantries and fucking going testing garage doors, and I'll be sorting some stuff out, man. Don't let me do it. Don't let me get on meth in Anthony Smith's neighborhood, or there's going to be problems. There's going to be havoc. Does anyone realize Jan's best win is against 8th-ranked bantamweight? Neither him or Aldo are deserving of the shot. You say that, but you've twisted it in your own way, McGregor hasn't won a fight in 4 years, as they were saying before Donald Cerrone. Retardation of the highest order. You say that, but Jimmy Rivera was higher ranked before he beat Yan. John Dodson was higher ranked before Yan beat him, sorry. These losses lose value as they go on. Look at Aljamain Sterling. All of a sudden, his best win is against Corey Sandhagen, number 5. Sandhagen might have been a top contender before he fought Aljamain Sterling. Now he's number 5, coming off a loss. Doesn't look too good in it. What honestly wouldn't surprise me if they shifted Aldo up to number 5 just before this title fight between him and Yan happens. But now look at Aljamain Sterling. He lost to Rafael Assunção. Assunção was a top 3 contender at the time. Now he's number 8. Do we hold him accountable for that? No. The reason they've shifted down the rankings is because these guys have beaten them. You can't discredit him for that. Aljo deserves a title. He is the champ. Yeah, Aljo has a better resume than Yan, but at the same time, Yan hasn't lost to anyone. So that's another thing you can add into the mix. It's not Yan's fault that Aljamain Sterling lost to fucking Rafael Assunção, even though it was close. He lost to Rafael Assunção and then lost to Marlon Moraes as well by KO. It's not Yan's fault that he's undefeated and smoking everyone in the UFC. PCP Guru, TRT Vitor. It is. That's literally the case. Better than, for sure. Guru Toast. Thank you. What do you like? What do you dislike most about UFC 3? The leg kicks. I don't like that someone can check them and not really check them. I don't like that someone you can use them and immediately fuck you up. It shouldn't be realistic. And if UFC 4 is more realistic, it's stupid. You should be able to do things that you can't do in a real fight, like slam someone with 50 body shots and then come upstairs and then throw 2 leg kicks. And then the fucking cardio bar goes down so quickly. Like, let me fucking throw 10 wheel kicks in a row. Don't be trying to make me conserve gas tank and pump with a jab and then chop at a leg kick. Like, fuck that shit, man. I want to pick Robbie Lawler. I want to throw nothing but hooks all fight long. Stop giving me a cardio bar that drops so fast. Piotr Jan versus Davison Figueiredo. Jan would beat him. I don't think Figueiredo would hang in the top of division, at higher divisions. I think his power is above those of flyweight, but fits in with those of bantamweight, and I think it would be a problem. His power is the big difference between him and everyone at flyweight. That's what he has going for him, is that power, that KO power at flyweight that no one else seems to have. But when you move up to bantamweight, the one thing that made you so great at your other division is now something that nearly everyone has. I mean, you've got guys in the top 5 like Garbrandt that's now shifted above Sandhagen for some fucking bizarre reason, but whatever, he also beat Asuncao, I guess, and he KO'd him. Fair enough. Garbrandt's number 4. Are we going to keep Cruz at 12 then? Because Cruz was at 11 because Garbrandt was at 10. Garbrandt's at 4 now. Are we going to keep Cruz at 12? That makes no fucking sense. Let's move Cruz up a little bit, eh? Move him above Pedro Munoz. Punish him for testing positive. That's what should happen. Speaking of old people, who should TJ Brown fight? Is TJ Brown the guy that lost to Jordan Griffin? TJ Downtown Brown. Yes, he is the guy who lost to Jordan Griffin. Very interesting. Old people, 30 years of age. I don't know about that one. TJ Brown, I mean, what, we're looking for bantamweights coming off a loss. Andre Ewell, even though he won the fight, I mean, it was a bit of a robbery. So maybe Andre Ewell versus TJ Brown would be a fun one they could match up. I'd be interested in it. We'll see what happens. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Is Edmund Shabazian from Europe? He's Armenian, but he's from America. I don't know what's wrong with his voice, though. It sounds like he has a bit of that tism, but there's something wrong. I don't know. I think he's just got a bit of social issues. I mean, he's been in MMA since he was 10. I doubt he's been to many parties, you know. Who knows? He's from Armenia. What, originally from Armenia? Interesting. Maybe that's why. I always thought he had downs, honestly. I thought he was from America, but just had downs. Like Vicente Luque, I thought he was from Brazil. And I was like, this guy's English is really good, but he grew up in America. It's interesting stuff, you know. Panzan by decision at 12.0 juicy. I clearly can see her trying to out-wrestle Ribas. Yeah, but Mackenzie Dern is a better grappler than Paige Van Zandt, and she tried to do that to Ribas and failed. So I don't think that's really a good pick, but I've put money on Van Zandt anyway because those odds are too juicy to pass up, you know. Piotr Jan has low volume. Do you think Jose Aldo could win a decision? No, Jan turns it up when he needs to. He has low volume, but he knows why he has low volume, and that's to get tells, to get reads. I mean, you saw it against Jimmy Rivera. He almost wasn't throwing in those first 2 rounds. All he needed, and he knew it, was to drop Rivera at the end of every round and finish dominantly. I honestly feel like Aldo could get out-grappled by Jan. Honestly. After watching Mariah's Aldo, I mean, maybe Aldo thought he won the first round, but some of those punches in the first round that Aldo and the commentators were screaming about, Aldo missed those punches. Like, there was a punch that Aldo threw a right hand and Mariah's fell back against the cage, but that punch didn't even land. So I don't understand it, but still. I think Jan could go out there and double leg him. I don't think Aldo's going to have the same urgency to get up when he knows he's in a 5-rounder and his cardio isn't the best in the world. I mean, maybe before in his career he's been able to do so, but I don't know. I just think if Jan gets a couple takedowns on him, it'll make him think about the takedown first of all, whenever Jan's trying to close the distance and clinch for his elbows. But also, Moraes was able to just fucking throw Aldo to the ground at bantamweight, so clearly his takedown defense, like maybe his hips are not as sturdy as at bantamweight, or because of his hip injury, maybe he's just not got the same bump to his scramble. Who knows? Guru, are you the British version of Cartman? That is true. I am the British version of Cartman. I've been waiting to tell you guys it's me. Which player performs the best BBBJ? I don't know why there's so many B's. Which player performs the best? I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what your question is. BBBJ. I don't even know. Big buttery blowjobs. I have no idea what the 3Bs stand for. You're going to have to elaborate, you know. Ribas is a low-key babe. She's all right. She's good. She's good. In fact, actually very good, to be honest. Compared to other fighters. Bellissimo. When will Merab kill O'Malley? I don't think it'll ever happen. Merab's stand-up. I know his grappling's very good, but listen, you get 13 takedowns, that means a guy got up 13 times. And that guy was short notice who? I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. Like, I like Merab Dvalishvili. I'm a big fan. I've been watching him since he got picked up on Dana White's looking for a fight when he spinning backfist a guy from Duke Rufus. I can't even remember his name. But still, you know? Like, the guy he faced wasn't good. It was on short notice. And he got up 13 times. I know it's his style, guys. Merab was playing with that bum. Yeah, I hate that. I don't think that's ever a good excuse to say that someone was playing with someone or someone wanted to do this. I don't think that's the case. I think everyone knows fair well that they want to finish and they want a 50k bonus. But I don't know, man. I just think that Merab's striking was it was interesting how much he showed that he was about to punch. Like, his grappling is next, like 100% phenomenal. The way he gets his takedowns, his ground control isn't the best, but the way he gets his takedowns is fucking Raytheon Stotts. That's the guy from Rufus Sport. Raytheon from Rufus Sport. Makes sense. Either way, the way he was getting the takedowns, very impressive. But the way he was loading up his punches was like, hey, I'm about to punch. You got 5 seconds left before this punch gets there. You better watch yourself. It's coming. You still aren't moving it. You got 2 seconds left before this right hand comes out. You know, like he milks it that much. Like, he really loads it up. And I think O'Malley would be a little bit fast for that in the first round. But then again, Merab could come out there and just immediately double leg him. So we'll see. Zabit is next level. Yeah, and 3 rounders. I turn on ad blocker for Guru's videos. Thank you. I do the same. You think Masvidal is going to have CTE? Don't actually do that, please. I really need help. Yeah, you think Masvidal is going to have CTE? I don't think Masvidal is going to have CTE. I think his brain is incapable of having it. And I think if he already has it, then it's not going to get much worse, you know? He seems all right. He doesn't take too much damage. I mean, he gets hit quite a bit, but he never gets concussed or wobbled. I think the wobblers, the brain of the wobbler, or the completely shut out cold brain are the ones that develop CTE. You know? Like, I think Kevin Lee is going to be saying, you'll know, 20 times before he gets to his sentence in about 20 years. Like, I don't know. I just think the guys that get flashed and then they come back, I don't think they can ever have CTE. It's just not possible, you know? But the people like Brendan Shaw, who's fucking wrestling with an invisible corpse, or James Vick fucking just going completely out every single time. Till maybe as well, because we never see Till wobbled or hurt or shocked or rocked, and then he gets KO'd. Like, it's, to me, that tells me how your brain reacts to being hit too hard. Sometimes it wobbles. Some guys don't wobble. Some guys don't even acknowledge it. Like, Till will get hit by a big bomb and it'll be nothing, but then it's completely out. And I don't like that kind of brain. I mean, it's a smart English brain that immediately switches you off that a lot of English people seem to have. Maybe that's a development because Bisping has the same problem. Rarely ever see him chicken-legged all over the place. I mean, he's been cracked a couple times, but he never goes wobbly, you know? He's either completely shut out with Bisping or nothing. Who knows? Anyone can be wobbled, yeah. But, you know, some people it happens to a lot more often than others, you know? Did you actually do cocaine back in your old vids? We'll leave that one for next stream. CT is nothing in MMA. Play football. I mean, this used to be called the Cocaine Guru. I don't know if you guys know about that. That was my original channel. Before I turned it into MMA, it was just cocaine. Like, every fucking day. Like, honestly, it was a problem. You know? The only reason I'm wearing a beanie is because I took so much coke, it blew my fucking brain out the top of my head. I've just got an empty chasm up here. It's a problem. Guru, open the window and let me know if it's about to rain outside. The window's already open, and it is. Raining very gently outside. Very gently. Drugs are for mugs. Yeah. Perry versus Green, who wins? All right, drugs are pretty good, though. $2 from Chris Jackson. Perry versus Green, who wins? What Green we talking about? Gabriel Green? Maurice Green? What Green are we talking about here? I don't think that's a very good... I don't know what other Green there is at welterweight. Gabriel Green, who stepped in against Daniel Rodriguez on short notice. That's the only thing I can think of, and I think he'd beat him. But Bobby Green, but lightweight. But I guess we don't care. He'll move up to 170, I guess. I'll go with Perry. Bobby Green's been KO'd a bunch of times, and he's not really that good. James Vick, Bobby Green. You think Bobby Green would beat fucking Mike Perry? I don't like Mike Perry's performance against Mickey Gall. I thought it was embarrassing, but still. It's Bobby Green, 55er. Not much power whatsoever. You know? Bit of a chin. A little bit chinny. You know? I don't know, man. I'd probably pick Mike Perry to win that one just by size. I wouldn't even be surprised if he just doesn't even strike with Bobby Green and just picks him up and fucking slams him. But that could be a fight, man. Bobby Green's a known name, so maybe make it, you know. Did you make any parlay for the weekend? I'm not doing it until I see the weigh-ins, and that's final. Santos versus Glovis, September 12th. Thoughts? Risky for Santos to be coming off an ACL injury and then having to stuff takedowns against Glover Teixeira, which requires a pretty strong base. Risky. Very risky. It's tough to stuff takedowns on one leg. But Thiago Santos, I think, wins. I just think there's a difference in power between him and some of the other guys in the divisions that have been able to catch Cutelaba and hurt him. And he's got great jiu-jitsu and takedown defense. So, I don't know. I'll probably go with Thiago Santos. But we'll see, man. I wouldn't even be surprised if Glover Teixeira makes him look small. We'll see. If Glover Teixeira comes back to the resurrection, starts baptizing people, there's going to be problems for those. That's going to be an embarrassment. Imagine if Glover comes back and beats Jones. I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Mickey Gall's resume is underrated. I mean, he's fought some good guys considering how little fights he has. That's very true. But if Glover comes out and beats Thiago Santos impressively, and then you see Santos, and then you see Teixeira versus Jones booked, I don't think we see Jones above a minus 200. I really don't. I think Kevin Lee is the kind of guy that if he loses 2 more fights, he's going to suicide or something. Thank you for bringing the mood down of the stream. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's so delusional, he'll keep going. But that's a good thing to be delusional in the fight game, you know. $4. Here you go, Guru. Thank you, Nino Haynes. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. What a nice guy. Not even a comment or anything. Just here you go. I'll take it, dude. Thank you very much. John Jones lost his passion for the sport. No, he hasn't. He's just fighting real light heavyweights now. You shut your mouth, Brendan Schaub. Okay, I know that's you in disguise, Jack Howarth, Brendan Schaub. We know it's you. Every time John Jones has a close fight, he just wasn't training because I know. He wasn't training. He doesn't care anymore. Every time John Jones goes out there and dominates someone, must have just wanted to fight that night compared to other times. How about their actual light heavyweights and not Chael Sonnen and Vitor Belfort, Shogun Rua, who's middleweight dimensions, let's be real, Lyoto Machida. I mean, he's fighting 6'4" guys now his size, or 6'3" guys that have got power, and he's having problems. That's just the situation. And also, he's off cycle. That's fact. Next time John's going to fight, he's going to bring his dog in the cage. I mean, he's been training it for so long, I wouldn't be surprised. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. What? Then that tells me a lot about your chromosome levels. Guru, later do an MMA fight, bro. I don't know, man, if I'm going to do an MMA fight, because I've been thinking about it. And I think it would be really funny if I went out there and just crushed a can or two. But I don't know. Because what if I go out there and I haven't been KO'd yet, and that's something that I'd like to value. And I'm still stuttering a few words, okay? And I've still got a barrage with autism, as Theo Von would say. But I don't know if I want to risk that, because my words are so far the only thing that I have. So if I get rid of them and start murmuring a little bit, I don't know, a little bit of a problem. I don't think I'd even have it to go through a training camp. But I'd love to fight. It'd be interesting, especially if I offered. The money's gonna have to do something. Maybe I'll build my brand up enough to where they're offering me 200,000 to show and no win bonus. I'm taking it, and I'm trying to wheel kick in the first round. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic about doing cocaine. Tells me, well, I'm obviously being sarcastic, dude. It's meth or nothing with me. Talk about fucking cocaine. Don't even talk about it with me, you know? Guru, who are the OGs of this channel? Let's not get into that discussion because someone's going to get left out and I can never answer correctly, even though I know a few of them. Guru, can Korean Zombie beat Max Holloway? Yes, he can. Most definitely he can. I think he'd have the best chance at KOing Max Holloway other than maybe, Josh Emmett. Or Josh Emmett is actually dynamite, kryptonite for Max Holloway. Like those shorter guys with power. I always thought Edgar was going to give Holloway problems because he hasn't fought that style. I mean, Holloway, as much as he went through a 12-fight win streak against everyone in that featherweight division, he never fought the short wrestler. If you notice, he went through everyone at featherweight, not named Chad Mendes and Frankie Edgar. There were certain guys he got past. And I think those shorter guys, I know Edgar's trash, but still, he gave Holloway his toughest fight. Right? I mean, Edgar got given 2 rounds by one judge. I don't think he could have got 2 rounds, but still, Holloway just hasn't fought that style. And then against Volkanovski, I think we should have seen it coming. That was actually a bad prediction to pick Holloway in that first fight. It made no sense. Should Maurice Green be sacrificed to give on of his eyes to Bisping? Yes, definitely. But I don't think that Bisping would want his eye. Why would you want that eye compared to a glass one that looks normal? I think Bisping would refuse it. And by then, Maurice Green's already going to have his eye in his hand. So that's a bit of a problem. Maybe Maurice Green should ask definitely if Bisping wants the eye before he actually takes it out, I'm an obvious OG Inguru looks like Masvidal if he were homosexual. I'll take it. Swole, Paige Van Zandt plus 550, got to take it. Alexander Volkanovski might take down Max in this fight. I think he's going to go for it. I don't think he's going to commit to a full blast takedown because once he gets on the ground with Max, it's going to be a bit different, But I think he's going to go for a takedown or two just to mix it in, Thoughts on Bisping feud with Chad Mendes. I think Mendes has got a little bit of downs, but good for him, man. One of the team. $10 from Non Sequitur. What's going on, dude? I remember you from yesterday. Potience to get you a free piece in a soda, Pepsi. The Pepsi's just arrived. Thank you very much. I'm drinking it from the other side. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $10. I need to shave my fucking stupid pubic facial hair. In which round? Thank you for the $10, though, Non Sequitur. I appreciate that. Let me just really emphasize that the $10 is a lot of money. And although I don't actually see the $10, so I don't value it the same as I would a $10 pound note being passed to me, if those $10 pound notes exists. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. It's a lot of money. I appreciate it very much. Guru, you're taking everything I work for, motherfucker. I'm going to fight your fucking ass. You know what the real money fight is, not these clowns that you already pumped at the press conference. That's the easy shit. You want that real shit. Unfortunately, we can't swear like that on Fox. Anyway, Usman gets a knockdown only if Masvidal is off balance or it's like 4 or 5 rounds and he's been hugged and sapped of his energy. His stand-up too snappy and quick for Usman in the first 3 rounds. Yeah, it's true. But still, I wouldn't be surprised if Usman tags him with something. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Usman cracks him with something. Just if Masvidal's out there playing with Usman on the feet and acting all smart and smiling at him. I could see Masvidal getting tagged by something big from Usman, but I just don't see him getting finished by Usman at all. Never forget the ref pulled Maia off Usman too soon. He might not be champ right now. I mean, Maia had one hook in on Usman's back. Anytime Maia has a hook in on you, it's over. And they stood the fight up. Even though in the same fight, Usman was literally doing nothing in half guard and nothing against the cage, and they weren't separating at the same quickness. Just because Maia got his back, all of a sudden they fucking jump in. And Maia took that fight on short notice. Usman was supposed to be fighting Santiago Ponzinibbio. People forget about that shit. Maia took that fight on 2 weeks' notice and actually did pretty good. Ben Askren has first-hand experience, and Guru has no social media except YouTube and Super Chat. His new name on Super Chat is 100. Presser. Don't actually do that. Actually do that. It's a really good idea. Would you buy the membership of Van Zant's OnlyFans? I want it to be like personalized for me, though. I don't want just to get what everyone else is getting. You know, like, here you go, guys. Yeah, put my individual name in there. You know, I want personalization if I'm going to pay for that kind of thing. I don't get the OnlyFans thing. It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to show you pussy. Like, you know, like they're not going to be like, oh, it's on OnlyFans, so I'll get the vagina out. That they're going to show you slightly more leg, maybe a bit of shoulder. You know, I don't know. I have a feeling you have a low-key C. Don't know what that means unless there's more to that sentence. UFC 4. Interesting. Not going to buy it, but interesting. Very cool. It's Alakov versus Alessio. Who you got? I've got Alessio Zaleski dos Santos by decision. I think he gets it done by decision. Guru Bread versus Game Bread for the Goon Belt. I'm just born from Miami, man. I want Game Bread to win so bad, but I just see an Usman decision. Same here, man. It's a problem, you know. I think Max will go to the body like he did in the 4th and 5th in the last. Yeah, but that was against a one-handed Volkanovski then. So I don't think that body's going to be open when Volkanovski's got both hands, all systems go. Pepsi from the bottle or can. In a glass, because then you feel like vintage, you know? You feel like you're actually out somewhere. Sad, but, you know, I don't know. The glass kind of gives it that dignity, you know? The Pepsi can, I'd say can over bottle. The bottle is just, there's something about the rat shit that's been over the top of these cans of drinks in their airport containers that just tastes good, you know? Like, I'm getting luggage from an Armenian couple, you know? Maybe Hungarian. Honestly, I might have to revisit that because that tasted a bit different that time. But still, cans are colder. Yeah, cans are a bit colder. And also, I don't know. AIDS. Yes, can is better. Miranda Lemon is the best. Interesting. Ribas is hotter than Visit. Maybe. But Van Zandt, I think, for the clout, would definitely be the choice, you know? Guru has a 60-inch reach. I actually have quite a long set of arms. Gah! Ah, she's going to make me want to strangle someone. Don't make me fucking strangle someone. I'll fucking choke the shit out of this fucking... I actually have really weird forearms. They're wider than my biceps. I don't know if you guys know that, but I have weird forearms. But still. Will Overeem have CTE? Change that question. Does Overeem already have CTE? I think is the real question. $2 from Not a Robot. That's what a robot would want us to think. Masvidal going to give Usman the family meal. I hope so. I really do hope so. I really do hope so. You know, maybe it would mean that Usman's family don't have to walk miles for food and water, but, you know, Masvidal's just doing him a favor. Fucking Usman lying about his upbringing is a disgrace. And people just brush it under the carpet. Like, don't talk about that anymore. Expose him. I know it's the UFC, and I know the MMA media need the champions to be on their team so they can have them in their interviews. Fucking expose Usman for lying about that shit. Seriously, man. I know it might not be the right climate right now to be going after a guy like Usman for that kind of stuff, in case you're wrong. But still, it is almost conclusive that he lied about his fucking upbringing, walking miles for water, and it's just, no one cares. Like, they just move on, you know? He literally lied about being in poverty in Africa. Like, he had nothing when he was a millionaire. Like, it, whatever, man. I don't think Masvidal will fight Coby if he wins, yeah. It's true. It's true. Masvidal's hairline, though, looking like a McDonald's logo. He does. He does have that kind of hairline. Masvidal will hurt Usman with liver kicks like Coby did. I think so as well, actually, but it's also because Coby wasn't scared of the takedown. And Coby doesn't throw him like Masvidal does, but Masvidal's got one of the nastiest switch kicks in the game, so we'll see what happens. I just think Coby was more... I mean, it kind of showed you the confidence in Colby Covington because Usman wasn't throwing... Listen, as much whatever you say about that fight, Usman weren't throwing no kicks other than front kicks. Like, that kind of tells you the wrestling confidence in the pair of them. You know, like, Coby was throwing lots of round kicks at Usman, not even giving a shit if Usman caught a leg. Usman trying to be like Khabib, that's one of his personalities in his alter ego. Yeah, probably. Definitely. Yeah. Or he just talked to Ngannou and just spewed out whatever Ngannou was saying and just lied again. Usman's hairline is now on his neck. Yeah. That's true. Masvidal has one of the nastiest switch kicks in the game. Barboza has entered the chat. I mean, he does have one of the nastiest switch kicks in the game. Hence one of. That's a Joe Rogan unarguable statement that Joe Rogan does. I'm starting to pick up on Joe Rogan's language. Joe Rogan just says things that cannot be denied because they're not finite enough to really pinpoint what he actually means. Joe Rogan's lingo is literally one of, and then whatever afterwards. If he says one of the worst, one of the best, no one can deny it because it's just an unagreeable or a non-disagreeable statement. Guru has an OnlyFans account and he shows his hair. It's true, I do actually. I show little strands at a time. I leave them on on my desk and send people pictures to them and actually send little strands out as well. Israel and Usman are wannabe Ngannous, yeah. I mean, Israel had to make up that, when my family and their servants and all my millions went over to New Zealand in a mansion, the kids were mean to me. I've come from nothing. Like, you know, you move into a million. I don't know. It's just fine, man. That's okay. Darren Till had a tougher upbringing than Adesanya and Usman, but they act like they fucking crawled through the gutter, you know? Can you reach the head of somebody with a kick? Oh, yes. Oh, I can't wait until 10K. This channel's going to change. I actually can't wait, actually. This is going to be fun. When 10K hits, I don't know, man. I just got some ideas. And I said this before, at 10K, I'm going to start doing a video series called Name That. You know, have you ever seen Name That Pokemon on Pokemon when they showed a silhouette? I want to pretend to be a fighter. I mean, this is going to be down the line when I've got my own cage and stuff. But I want to mimic a fighter and have people like guess it in the video. You know, do a series like that. I don't know. I think it could be a good idea. Adesanya is acting like a bitch. Are you the Tim Pool of MMA? That's exactly who I am. But I'm not bald underneath and I'm not on Adderall. Because we don't have that in the UK. I probably would be on it if we had it over here. We might even have it over here. I need to call my doctor because, you know, it'd be a decent thing. We'll unsub at 10K if things change. Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I won't change anything then. What's up with people saying Nate outboxed Connor? I don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. Is Masvidal still a star if he gets ragdolled? Yeah. If it's boring, people would just shit on Usman for it. But if he does get destroyed, then no, he'll lose his stock. Till had a tougher upbringing than Usman. I mean, Usman was a millionaire. Come on, guys. Usman had a easier upbringing than every 95% of people in America. And he acts like he's this guy who's come over with something to prove. And I had a chip on my shoulder, and I've worked my way up. Oh yeah. You're walking miles for water when your dad, Kamaruddin Mohammed Usman, came over here and walked straight into the management job of an ambulance company the day he got here. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that dad who bought a house, not rented, had a house bought and paid for by the time you landed here in America. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, cool, Usman. Talk about that walking miles for water again. Why not just stay near the water? Fair point, honestly. How long did you train? Are you still training? I did Taekwondo for 7 years, 7 years, maybe 8. I got my black belt 2nd degree. And then I did Muay Thai for 1 year. And then the next year was on and off. And I did a few jiu-jitsu lessons and quit. Till had a tougher upbringing in Usman, is true. I feel like you have a low-key IG account named Uncle Dana, similar meme jokes about Usman and Brendan and similar to political views, plus he's from England too. Yeah, I am Brendan Schwab. I've seen that meme post. But no, I don't actually. I actually don't. I just never have. Guru, could you lose 20 pounds in 6 days? How much? How much is Masvidal making? I'll say yes. Because if it's 500,000, I could lose 50. You know? It would happen. I would die in a sauna for 500,000. I don't give a fuck. Juru is 6'3". Not 6'3", just under. 6'2", but kind of 6'3", so you might as well say it, you know. Are you bald, dude? No, I'm not. Joe Rogan did Taekwondo. I know he did. Joe Rogan did do Taekwondo. It's true. Masvidal fucks men growing up in backyards. He fucked him up. Yeah, I get what you mean. You could have worded that way differently. Adesanya is the weirdest UFC champ. I just don't get him. Weird hobbies, haircut, and personality. Oh, wait, there's Usman. Here, haircut with Usman. There's not much to cut, but still, with Adesanya, I figured things out. Adesanya is the coolest guy in the world until you realize he's 29 years of age. I think that's one of the best analyses of Adesanya there is. Adesanya is one of your coolest friends you know. But he's 29, and that makes him a loser. Kind of, subconsciously. Because listen, as much as I appreciate a UFC champion coming out and listing their favorite porn stars, he's 30. Oh my God, he's 30. Well, listen, he comes out and lists his favorite porn stars. If Sean O'Malley came out and listed a few of his favorite porn stars, hilarious. It's Sean O'Malley. He's a young kid. He's 30 years of age. You know, like, so it kind of adds a dark kind of feel to it, like a dark, depressing vibe, almost. Like, he's really cool, but I don't think people are going to completely be Team Adesanya, because they're not completely Team Adesanya yet, like they were with McGregor, because it's just, you know, you're not 22 anymore, you know? Like, even McGregor wasn't saying some things like that. Like, my favorite porn star, referring to anime, you're 30, have kids, and shut up. Like, I don't know. Just one of them vibes, you know? I'm running out of voice. 30 isn't an old man. Alex Gagnon is over the age of 30. That's what that comment means. No, it's not an old man, but it's just, it isn't an old man. 30 is not an old man whatsoever. I don't even think 50 is an old man nowadays, especially with the way people are taking care of themselves. But it's a little bit old to be listing your favorite porn stars and reading anime and manga comics. Like, it, I don't know. It's just, it adds a different vibe to it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Charles Rosa would be great if his record wasn't cursed. He would be. It would be. Guru, you fighting at middleweight or light heavyweight? Light heavyweight. I'd be like Luke Rockhold at middleweight. I don't think I'd make it in one piece, especially without completely diminishing my chin like Rockhold did. I'd go light heavyweight. Be like an Ozdemir-sized guy. Do a Bane impression. No. Lol, gay, he watches anime. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's weird at 30. That's all. Masvidal's manager, Malky, when they asked him how much Jorge is making, said, put it this way, the jet that took him to Abu Dhabi cost him $400K and he's not losing anything on it. Put it that way, he said. Okay, so there's no need for a union then. He's not getting enough where 400K doesn't mean anything. I don't give a fuck. And the jet that took him there didn't cost him 400K. It just didn't. Like, I don't know how much jets cost, but I know what tax bracket people are in that fly private jets. Like, it's not costing him 400K to get there. So that's just a complete lie. It's probably cost him about 50K. Private jet there and back, 50K. Private pilot, 2 days of the week. He's not paying 400K. That just isn't the case whatsoever. So that's just more lies from the Masvidal camp. Stop lying, guys. You know, he just got, I mean, his whole Diaz purse. I mean, it's just not even true. It's not true, but whatever. Like the same thing. They called Coby first. Dana White comes out. Oh, no, we didn't call Covington. Who said that? All right, well, then Masvidal lied then. It's just like, come on, man. You got to play it safe before this. I'm just relaying the message. You are relaying the message. I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying that's just, why would he do that? And then now that he has done that and had his coach say that, you don't then go back to, I'm not getting paid enough then. You know? If it costed that much, he couldn't afford it and get the UFC to handle it. Yeah, it's true. Will Paulo Costa say the M-word if he loses to Adesanya? He'll probably screech it at the top of his lungs in an empty crowd. That'd be pretty cool. How do you think Davis and Figueiredo would do as champ? Isn't Costa kind of black as well, though? I mean, maybe that's just with a shaved head. But he's not black, obviously, but still, you know. There's something in there. There's something in there, you know. No fans in the arena. DC and Rogan's voice is going to be heard loud and clear in the judges' eyes. Holloway's winning 5 rounds to none, boys. That's how it works. Honestly, I'm kind of done with Joe. I'm so glad that I have the fight companion and I don't listen to the commentary during fights because honestly, it's the most biased shit I've ever heard in my life sometimes. Like, and they get praise. They get praised like one of the best commentators in sports. Like, when is this circle jerk of Joe Rogan going to end? Like, can he be criticized whatsoever? He's one of the most biased commentators in existence. Not to mention DC and Dominic Cruz are no fucking better anyway. Have you seen Gaethje versus fucking Poirier? Poirier was winning that whole fight and they were acting like Poirier was losing. Not even just saying more of what Gaethje was doing. They were definitively saying that Poirier was losing rounds when he was up every round by strikes, and the only thing Gaethje was doing was leg kicking him. Whatever. It's all good. Big numbers in the chat today. I know there's big numbers recently, but, you know, it's all good. Brother, you are so biased towards your favorite fighters, lol, same as Rogan, bud. No, I'm biased towards people I have big money on at the end of my parlays. Not my favorite fighters. Not my favorite fighters at all. If there's big money on a parlay, I'm going to be a little bit biased. Like, and I'll say this again, if Cruz beat Cejudo, I would have made a shit ton of money. I got Olenek over Vadum on that parlay. If Cruz got Cejudo, I would have made it. I would have made a shit ton of money. Oh my God, fuck the haters, mate. I don't have any haters. They're just people giving constructive criticism. Don't use the word haters. We are above the age of 12 in this chat. But thank you. I appreciate you, Don Schneider, the Don himself. Schneider the Don. This ain't big numbers. This is poverty numbers. We in the 500 club now, and I don't mean 0.500 like Masvidal's fighting rank. Okay, there we go. We're shitting on Masvidal again. Bisping is cool. Bisping's a cool guy. I like him. People keep saying that the Cody that beat Cruz is one of the best boxers in the UFC and could beat anyone. Your thoughts? I mean, he won 3-2. You know? Even like the BT Sport video of the highlights saying this was considered one of the greatest title fight performances of all time. You won 3-2. Cruz won 2 rounds against you. People don't realize that about Cruz versus fucking Garbrandt. Look at the fucking stats and rewatch the fight. I mean, I know the commentary was biased, but they're always biased to an underdog that does well. Always biased towards an underdog that does well. Always. Because when the underdog does something that you don't expect them to do, it's more of a reaction. Like, oh my God, Cruz got dropped. But, well, Garbrandt's got power. Of course Cruz is going to get dropped if he gets hit by a punch. But Garbrandt's doing it. Oh, most dominant thing ever. It was 3-2 to Garbrandt. You were biased before you bet. Yeah, I know, but still, shut the fuck up. We're uploading this VOD and don't incriminate me. What was I saying though? Cruz, let me see the stats between Cruz versus Garbrandt. Stats. I'm sure Cruz won 2 of those rounds. There you go. Dominic Cruz. 20-12 in the first round in favor of Dominic Cruz. 19-16 in the second round in favor of Dominic Cruz. 20-17 in favor of Dominic Cruz in the third round, 17-15 in favor of Dominic Cruz in the fourth, and 12-8 in favor of Dominic Cruz in the fifth. He outlanded him every single round, and Cody only dropped him in 3. Ney only scored 2 knockdowns in the entire fight, so he only knocked him down in 2 of the rounds. The other ones were him knocking Cruz off balance, which I guess, because 2 of them happened in the same round, we could give that a round to Cody as well. But that was Cody's fight, don't get me wrong. He definitely won the fight, but there was only 2 legit knockdowns there. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm 12. You blooped out, lad. Yeah. Romero is acting Woodley's age. Woodley is acting Adesanya's age. And Adesanya is acting Sean O'Malley's age. I didn't even go one further. Woodley's acting Sean O'Malley's age. Adesanya's acting fucking Chase Hooper's age. You know? I just watched a Moraes-Jose fight. I agree. Moraes would land hard and Joe would say it's looking like Aldo of old. It's crazy. Moraes in the third round. Ting! Left hand straight on Aldo's chin. Blomp. Smacked Aldo's head back. The pressure of Aldo was fucking crazy. Look how he just walks Moraes down. Ping! Left hand from Moraes in the third round. Smacks Aldo in the chin. Aldo's going nowhere after these punches. Like, it was just very clear that they were told, maybe, that Aldo really needs to win this one. I don't know. It was just a ridiculous amount of bias, in my opinion. Casuals love Rogan's commentary. Well, people that don't know will side with the fact that Rogan's a genius because they don't know him, you know? Kind of. Like, if they don't know, they will side with, oh, people say he's a genius, so he's a genius. But, you know, Joe Rogan knows that Mirko Krokop used to head kick people in Pride. I'll give him that. And he also knows that Vanderlei Silva was a scary motherfucker, man. Scarier than a chimp and an elk together, maybe. But, you know, I mean, he doesn't know what division Bryce Mitchell's in. But, yeah, that's okay. He's the MMA god. You know, Joe Rogan knows everything. You always do that just because someone outlands them. Don't mean he won the round. Yeah, but I mean, listen, I gave Garbrandt 3 rounds despite Cruz outlanding him because he dropped him in 2 of the rounds and he knocked him off balance twice in 1 of the rounds as well. So I give all of those rounds to Cody Garbrandt because even though it wasn't an official knockdown, I mean, Ferguson Gaethje wasn't an official knockdown, and I still give that round to Ferguson in round 2 because it was the biggest shot and it slumped Gaethje to 1 near. Even though it wasn't official because not both knees touched the canvas. I mean, you still got to give rounds to the bigger shots. But still, 2 of those rounds are Cruz. 2 of the rounds are Cruz, for sure. Colby versus McGregor and how? Colby versus McGregor and how? Now, that is interesting. Colby would win, I think. I mean, McGregor's good, but I think Colby would beat him. Just too much of the takedowns. Other guys are going to try and take McGregor down, and if they can't get it, they're going to break. and then feel it out and try it again. I think Colby's just going to throw, go for a takedown. McGregor tries to defend it, go for another one, and then go for another one, and then it's just too much for Conor McGregor. There's no resting time on the ground with Colby because he lets you back up. And you're like, oh, I'm getting back up. Well, no, down you go again. There's no resting time. There is with Usman, to be fair, because he could just sit in half guard and punch you in the body. And you can just kind of sit there and take the semi-punches and look at the referee to maybe stand it up because Usman's literally just laying there in half guard and using his size advantage. But, other than that, Colby just doesn't let you rest. Colby is bigger. There you go. I mean, that's also a case as well. But, I just think that Colby would beat him. Colby will actually get a submission with McGregor. Yeah, I think he would finish McGregor. There's no way that Colby would miss out the chance at risking getting a finish again. There's no way. If Colby hears McGregor breathing heavy on the ground, he will go for that finish 100%. 100% he would. If there is a 165-pound division introduced, who would you book in the vacant title fight? The vacant title bout of 165. I think the best way to handle it would be to do a super fight in the middle of two divisions. So whoever would be the 170-pound champ and whoever would be the 155-pound champ, they would fight for the 100 or the 175-pound champ, which it would then become. They would fight for the 165 one, if they could, of course, because, of course, Usman ain't making 165 no matter what. But still, if they could, do a super fight between them and then just have the challengers fall in line, because it's hard to give a guy from another division who hasn't earned a title shot in his current division a title shot in a new division, because it kind of just tells everyone that division is not the same level as the other ones that you have. So I think the best way to legitly create a new division is to have two other champions fight for it and just fill it with contenders. You can't have two contenders from other divisions that haven't earned title shots in their own divisions fight for a title in a new division, because it devalues the new division. 8-man tournament for the 165. I mean, they could do something like that. That would make some sense. But I think it would drain too much from the other weight classes. Honestly, it would. It would drain way too much. Drain way too much. Think about it, though. I mean, all of the people that people name, like, oh my God, there's so many people for the 165-pound division. But then Nick Lentz is ranked number 14 at lightweight because you took all the fucking talent out. Like, there's going to be problems once you plug all of the guys out. Like, not plug them out, but once you drain all the guys out, there's going to be a problem. Like, maybe you could slide up Stevens would be good. Well, maybe not Stevens, because I'm looking at the wrong fucking divisions. Here we go. 165. I'd say Dos Anjos would be in there. Ferguson would probably go up, especially if he doesn't have more success at lightweight. He'd try again at 165 for sure. Khabib would not go up. He's not going up ever in his career. Poirier would go up, especially if the title shot wasn't working out for him. But the top 5, I don't think, are going to risk moving up to this new Grand Prix, because they're like, hang on a second, I'm one fight away from a title shot in my own division. Why would I fucking enter this 4-man tournament? Like, it makes no sense. But still, there's a lot of guys that would do it. McGregor, Masvidal, Covington. Covington would make 165 pretty easy. He only cuts at 10 pounds. Nate Diaz, Luke. Luke K's got a big head. Maybe he'd stay at 170. But, Pettis, there you go. Pettis is a good name in there. Mike Perry. Well, but then Mike Perry seems to struggle with 170. I don't fucking know. Guru, you filthy animal. What's up, dude? How's it going? Who would win if Poirier versus Ferguson happened? Poirier would win, in my opinion. Khabib versus Masvidal for the 165-pound title. Who you got? Khabib versus Masvidal for the 165-pound world title. I'll go with Masvidal. Masvidal, for sure, would win that fight. Khabib doesn't win any fights outside of his division, in my opinion. Well, he does against certain guys, but I think Masvidal could get him at 150, 165. For sure. Khabib's size is big at 155. I mean, his dad, whatever. We're not even going to bring that up because it's a tough time right now. I forgot what happened. How would Henry Cejudo do against Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan? He would do well. I don't know, man. I think Henry Cejudo outperformed himself a little bit. But he's good. But we'll see. Why'd your live chat go dark the other day? I don't know. I don't know if that happened. Khabib versus Masvidal for the 165-pound title. Who you got? Already answered it fucking 3 times already. Poirier beats Tony. I think so as well. How would Henry Cejudo do against Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan? I think he would lose to him, especially coming back. Because once you've gone, you're not training full force anymore. You're coming back, you're going to be a watered down version of yourself. Like even GSP, as much as people said, and Joe Rogan again, he might be better. He might be better. No, he's not. He fought one-eyed Bisping and landed a left hook. Like, he was not looking better than he ever did at 170 at all. He looked slow. He looked lumbersome. He looked lethargic at 185. Like, I don't know, man. Whatever, man. His takedowns didn't look the same, but, you know, Joe Rogan said it, so it's in the promos. Must be true. Who would be in the 195-pound division? Fucking don't even mention that. We ain't got enough guys at 205. That was a class impression. It wasn't. It was just a high-pitched American impression. Guru, did you see that video where Shannon Briggs was chasing Klitschko on his paddleboard with a motorboat? That's a legendary video. People don't give Shannon Briggs the credit because he sided with Logan Paul, and I don't know. I guess it's just weird of him to do that, but Shannon Briggs' fucking promos and build-ups to fights were hilarious, you know. Masvidal wins against Khabib, lol, filthy casual. At 165, I'd say Masvidal beats Khabib. Should a transgender be allowed to fight? They already did an exception with Cyborg. And I've read it, and YouTube is YouTube, so this will probably get demonetized and have my channel banned. Masvidal by first round TKO. Are you intoxicated? Gaethje beats Khabib if he's not 110% focused. Is Khabib training right now, you reckon? He should be starting camp now. But with the current situation, you reckon he's going full camp without Father's Plan and without Ajajav for stand-up and obs the morning? Yeah. I don't really know, really. I don't fucking know. So I'm just going to assume that he is training. Because, I don't think there's a day where Khabib sits at home all day. I don't think that's kind of the case with all champions. You can kind of assume that. There's never really going to be a day where a champion just doesn't get out of bed. Like us guys have days sometimes, you know. Or we don't get out of bed. We fucking bang on COD or whatever, you know. Sort it out, watch a film. I don't think there's ever that kind of day. Like, Khabib's off day is just, okay, I go to smaller current river and swim against current. And this time only 3 bears chase me, you know? Like, I don't think he downgrades as much to doing nothing. He just might downgrade to just, you know, I take 3 bears today, you know? Different stuff. Would Covington be champ at 165? He would be tough to fucking beat. I think, yeah. I think he would be champ at 165. Ferguson would be problems for Colby, though. But I think that Colby would be champ at 165 because the only person who's going to be able to beat Colby is a guy with size and power advantage over him in Usman at 170. Usman can't make 165. So if you're saying, is Colby champion in a world without Usman? Kind of answered your own question, you know? Guru, how would you feel about Guru not now training with Guru and Guru? I feel pretty guru about it, dude. Pretty guru-y, you know? Khabib beats Colby at 165. Let me spit in my fucking microphone again like that, you disgrace. Should Kelvin move back down to welterweight? I farted while I was spitting. And that was close. Angry London Leprechaun time. Okay, there we go. Usman had to cheat as well. I mean, obviously. But, you know, no one wants to hear about that because we're just salty for wanting to abide by the rules of MMA. That's okay. Parlay for 251. I don't fucking know. I'm going to do 2 different ones. I don't fucking know. Well, I don't know. I haven't picked it. I'm going to see the weigh-ins first. Fuck it. Colby Covington versus Gilberto Burns. But in the title fights, I'm going to go... I'm not going to bet on Usman Masvidal. Because it's not worth it, I don't think. But I still don't think Masvidal wins. But I don't think it's worth betting because Usman's such a big favorite, and I don't think it should even be considered a short notice bout. But still, I think Usman wins. I go Volk, Yan, and then maybe throw Zaleski in there as a evens because he's evens with Salikov, and I think he's going to win that match. And then Makwan, I think, wins. There's some good fights, though. Who cares about Colby? Is Colby small enough to make 155? No, he's not. He would never make 155, I don't think. Well, he could, actually. I think Colby actually could make 155, but he would be completely drained. I mean, James Vick can make 155, and James Vick is 6'3". Like, he's a huge guy. Like, James Vick is almost no different from Adesanya. Like, Adesanya might be barely 6'4". James Vick might be 6'3.5". Like, there's nothing in between them. And he can make 155. And he seems thicker than Adesanya. I don't understand weight, but still. James Vick can make it and Colby can, for sure. But it just, would he be able to recover in time to have his style? Especially not. Because Colby isn't James Vick, who's fucking using his range and sticking his chin up in the air and moving backwards. Colby's got to be able to take the punishment for his style to succeed. And if you're cutting too much weight, that just won't be the case. 165 is an extra 5 pounds. So he'd have a good chance there. But if you go further than that, I think you're taking away from his damage-taking ability, which is going to take away his success rate as well. Guru hates Rogan because Rogan embraces his baldness. That's not true. Joe Rogan had a hair transplant and denied it for years. Oh, come on, dude. I mean, you thought I was going to defend my own self? I have hair. But, you know, you weren't even right about Rogan's part. Max is taking this dub. It's true. It's true. I don't think it's true at all. I think Max is going to lose. I don't know why I said it's true twice. He's going to lose. I hope he wins. I really do. You're not answering my question. Bye. Well, say it other than that you just said, because I read that one out, but now it's wasted. Hopefully I don't read your next one. I'm not even going to try not to, but hopefully I miss it. You disgrace. Stop talking about Colby, bitch-ass Covington. Stop fucking talking about him then. You're the one bringing him up, Gabby. You know, stop talking about Colby, bitch-ass Covington. Well, you just mentioned him again. God, stop spamming about Colby. This guy, Gabby, can't fucking stop talking about Colby. Get over it. Where does Kevin Lee fit into all of this? I think he fits perfectly into Oliveira's guillotine. Perfect. How can Max win? If Volkanovski wasn't that good to begin with and has an off night, that's about it. If Glover beats Santos, he's going to be like title shot. I know he's going to be like title shot. And to be fair, it's going to be hard to deny him if he does beat Santos, because Santos beat Blachowicz. And Blachowicz, like, I think there's a few more fights to happen at light heavyweight before these guys get their title shots. And I think if they were smart, Reyes and Blachowicz would fight each other, because that is undeniable status. The winner of Reyes-Blachowicz is undeniable. But if they let Glover sneak up in there and take a title elimination bout from one of them, they can't be shocked because they've been inactive. Well, not inactive, but still. Glover's been out there doing the damn thing, you know, hustling. Colby versus Edwards for next title challenger. Yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds good. Colby should fight Woodley or Burns next. I think Colby should fight Woodley. Yeah, Woodley is better than Burns. Edwards' fight is good because that way, whoever wins, Colby, you've got a storyline with Masvidal. If Masvidal beats Usman, of course, which I don't think will happen, but it could happen. You've got Colby with storyline with Masvidal, and even if Colby loses, you've got Leon Edwards, who beat the guy with storyline with Masvidal and now has even more storyline with Masvidal because of the backstage brawl. If Khabib, Kevin Lee, Hooker, T-Bow, and Tony can make 155, then Colby can make it, yeah, for sure. Guruev, yeah, but I'm just saying he won't enact his style as with enough success to stay there in the elite level, you know. Masvidal was training according to Dustin, not short notice. I know. Why did he lie about it being short notice? And then he lied about Colby Covington not wanting to take the fight first when Colby was never even called. I understand. But, you know, Masvidal's setting... he's either playing the ultimate 60 chess game there's ever been played, or he's very scared and is looking for a backup plan. But the 60 chess is a possibility, because I would not put that past Masvidal, because he's smart with it. You know, he's got his little games that he can play with people. You know, he can put his hands, like, I mean, even just with the hands behind his back. Like, that's all planned, you know, practicing it beforehand as well. He's clearly a thinker, but is he on the 60 chess levels, or is he, you know, a scrubby checkers player? You know? Martin Day not going to beat Davy Grant. Going to beat Davy Grant. Yeah, I think Martin Day wins. Thug Rose and Implant Page can both sit on my face. Interesting. At once? Not possible. Should John Vellante use an inhaler in future fights to avoid cardiac arrest? I mean, if the well-awaited debut of John Vellante's brother John ever happens, then yes, I think he should be allowed an inhaler. Thank you very much. What about Jan Blachowicz and Polish vodka? What? I don't understand, but yes. Polish power. John Jones. Name the time and the place. Just for a stylistic standpoint, how would guys like Leonardo Santos, Gillespie, Ferreira do it against Khabib? I think Ferreira would lose. I think Ferreira is not that good, but he's good, but he's just not the levels of the other guys. Gillespie, I think, would lose. I think Gillespie would get... I'm just saying, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Gillespie didn't even have too much success on the feet with Khabib. Gillespie would do good, but still, I think Gillespie was one of the most overhyped prospects of all time. That's why I picked Kevin Lee against him, because he beat Yancy Medeiros. I'm supposed to predict how he'd do against Khabib. He beat Yancy Medeiros. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? How is he ranked that high? He hasn't beat a single ranked opponent, and somehow he's fucking above Donald Cerrone. Like, and Donald Cerrone's beaten guys above him in the rankings. But Gillespie's above Cerrone. I mean, it just... Fucking some people just need to be fucking... You know? Reload. Extended mag as well. Ariel Hawani's nose. All of the bullets it takes. But, you know, it's just crazy sometimes. There's some real problems. Guru got a dono. Did I actually? $4 from Walter Perez. That's a type of gun in Call of Duty and World War II era. Thank you very much, Walter Perez. And World War I as well. Let's not forget. Will Masvidal Cuban genes help him win? Masvidal, you have said. Thank you for the $4. I don't think anything has to do with the Cuban genes, because Masvidal and Yoel Romero are both from Cuba, and they don't share the same genes. But, I mean, his Cuban genes might help him. It depends. Are they boot cut? Are they skin tight? It depends. It honestly does. But I don't think so. I mean, you're talking about Cuban genes versus Nigerian genes, you know, or Nebraskan genes. Sorry. I mean, the Nebraskan genes, they go way back. You know, warrior race the Nebraskans. They're crazy. Rogan made up Cuban genes, Lamau. I mean, I don't even think there's anything to them. I think he made it up. Like, everyone from everywhere. I know there's some people that have different, like, some people have longer arms. Some people have bigger heads than other people as well. In certain areas, like colder areas, have bigger heads than other people to keep the brain warm. But I don't know. I just don't think there's much variation in people. I think there's always a savage of the community, regardless of where you go, you know? I don't know. I do not foresee a flying knee out of the gate this time, though, Guru. Yeah. It's true. I don't see that happening. I see him maybe faking it and making Usman chuckle, and then, who knows, a fucking fake right hand, left hook, boom, Usman out cold. Oh, it would be amazing if that happened. Oh, that would be amazing. Boom, 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 boom. Super Nelson, boom, throw the referee off of him and give him more, and boom, have fun playing Guitar Hero with your daughter now, bitch. You're gonna miss all the red notes. You know, give him that CTA. Every country in this world have people with crazy genetics. Joe is talking out his ass. Yeah, Joe Rogan just this VOD's going up. Joe Rogan, there's 415 people here, just wants to be fucked in the ass by a black guy. That's not even... I would not be shocked if a news headline came out. I think that's a very serious consideration. Like, that could actually be a thing. I saw someone else accuse him of it as well, and it, you know, I know the gears start clicking. All of a sudden, things start making sense. Oh, Jones, you were never on steroids? Oh, yeah, Jones, you were never on steroids. Just dick pills. Yeah, how about you use some of them dick pills now after the podcast, John Jones? You know, like, it's just a bit weird to me. Masvidal was European descent. Yoel was African. Yeah. Cuban genes. It's just crazy to me, you know. I don't understand. He's got them American genetics. Well, you know, a little bit weird. Guru Feller, imagine Askren versus Coby / Usman. Rogan's PR was funny. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It would just be embarrassing. But Askren, again, was past his prime and had hip injury. So, but even still, I don't think he'd beat those guys. He was just a really good wrestler. You're never as good as when you achieve your credentials in wrestling. Never. Colby goes back. Regardless of Colby Covington being a Pac-10 world champion right now, he goes back. He gets annihilated by everyone. he might get annihilated by everyone Division 1 bottom feeders right now. You know? Division 2 top guys might demolish Colby Covington right now. You're never as good as when you get your credentials in wrestling. Never as good. It only goes down because what happens? You spend your entire schooling career practicing 100% on your wrestling. Then you begin your MMA career. That 100% becomes 30. Maybe not even that because you're already good at wrestling. Maybe it becomes 20 and you focus 40% on striking and 40% on jits. Like, I know you're never as good as when you're credentialed. You never are. You never are. If you had to choose between solving world hunger and Masvidal starting Usman, what shot would you want him to end it with? I don't know what shot I'd want him to end. I want him to get an Eve Edwards style head kick on Kamaru Usman, you know. Did you see Usman interview? Speaks like he already lost. Such a weird dude. Run out of voice again. But yeah, Usman's a weird guy. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he just that's what happens when you live a secluded rich kid lifestyle, you know. You don't know how to interact with people. So that happens. Masvidal doesn't wear a cup and props a 100 milligram Viagra vitamin V pill before he fights. Interesting. I'm sure Viagra has some steroids in them, don't they? I'm pretty sure that's a... Have you just rumbled Masvidal here? Have you sort of been doing the wrong things all along? Masvidal tapped against Askren. Okay. Yeah, next to his unconscious body, but, you know, it was a good point. $2 from George Ramos. Gilbert Burns versus Colby at 165 and then 170. At 165, Colby wins. At 170, Colby... I don't know, man. Maybe Burns would catch him at 6. I don't know. I think Colby would beat Burns. But that's a dangerous, dangerous fight for everyone. Burns. He's lucky that no one knows who the fuck he is. That's so weird. How are the most dangerous guys always the guys that no one knows? It kind of defeats the point of being known. Surely you'd get known for being the most dangerous guy, but they never seem to be... I don't know. Burns is just so dangerous. But I'd pick Colby to beat him, though. Who wins, Kevin Lee or Poirier's guillotine? I mean, Kevin Lee's just addicted to finding holes. But Poirier's guillotine has a 0% success rate, so... I'll go with Kevin Lee versus just Poirier's guillotine. I say Kevin Lee gets a takedown every round because Poirier pulls a guillotine for it. If I was Mike Brown, there would be slaps handed out. Boom, boom. Like, there would be slaps handed out. Every time I saw him pull a guillotine in training, there would be slaps on the back of the head. Coming with some heat as well. They're coming with not just normal discs. I'm talking load it up from back here. Yeah, you know, give him one of them. Usman is the kind of dude to retire after his next fight. Perhaps. You know. Usman lied so much about his airport and beer story. I haven't even heard about that. Usman is a chronic liar, though, and lied about his upbringing. So, you know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to lie a couple times. I wouldn't even be surprised if he knew it was Masvidal in the close encounter. Because I could see it when I first watched it that he looked at him. And then he did, and here's the thing. Let me go back and watch that. We've got 23 minutes left of the stream. Let me go back and watch the Usman versus Masvidal interaction. Embedded, episode 1, I think it was. It was Embedded, episode 1. I know that. I don't know why I said I think it was. So let me go to the interaction. All right, that's enough of Paige Van Zandt. Let's skip along. Max Holloway almost about to cry on the airplane. I don't know what that was about, but maybe it was just it being late at night and him about to sleep. I'm putting it down to that rather than getting emotional about it. Jared Cannonier with a mask on, trying to pretend he's a UFC doctor. Usman Masvidal. Let me see this again in slow motion. Let me break it down. Let's go to 0.25 playback speed. Hold on. He sees someone. He looks forward. He looks left. Who does he see on his left, though, to draw this much attention? It is Herb Dean. Why did he look? I honestly, though, I get what you... I don't think he knew it was Masvidal. He definitely saw a person. I don't think he immediately thought it was Masvidal. But when he does... When you immediately look in the other direction, it kind of makes it seem like you have seen him and you're trying to give an excuse as to why you haven't seen him. So you look left, you see someone, then you go, is that Herb Dean on my right? Oh my God, it's Herb Dean. Like, he doesn't know who Herb Dean is. Like, I don't know. It was weird. It was, even if it was the corner of his eye looking back at Masvidal's hair, it's pretty obvious that it's Masvidal and no one else in the hotel dresses looks like that with that body. I mean, he had a tracksuit, but I don't think he was recognizing Masvidal by his back muscles. I mean, he had a tracksuit on, so I don't think it's the body. But at the same time, they're in a hotel with only UFC fighters and employees. Like, it's not like he's like, oh, it's just a random guy. Like, they've been tested to get into that hotel. They have to be a UFC staff member or a UFC fighter to even set foot in that hotel. Not to mention he's on the testing floor for fighters. So, I don't know. Maybe this is the next gate. You know, we'll get to it. Elevator gate. Usman versus Masvidal. You never know. It could be a thing. But I don't know. Masvidal was talking. Oh, we're going back. If Masvidal was talking, he 100% knew it was Masvidal. If Masvidal was talking, there's nowhere. I think he was waiting on the phone. I don't think he was actually talking, but let me see it again. 0.25 speed. Get rid of Jared Cannonier's face for a second. There we go. He's not talking. He looks like he's listening on the phone. But he has a mask on, so you don't even know if he's talking, but he is on the phone. I don't know, man. If he did see him and see it was him and try and play it off, he's a very good actor. But then again, he got a few people to believe that he walked miles for water. So, and he also made people believe that he wasn't even from Nebraska. So he's a good actor. But still, that is good acting. That is a really natural response. If he didn't, oh, how much of the side of his face did he see? He only saw his back. He didn't see side of face. If he saw side of face, it'd be indefensible. But I don't know, man. Maybe this is the elevator gate. We're going to have to break this down in slow-mo, you know. On the other side, though, Masvidal would have seen Usman once he got in the lift. Most lifts have mirrors on the back as well. Watch it with sound. He's talking. I don't want to watch it with sound because you guys are going to hear it. Let me listen in slow-mo with sound. Oh, he is. I'm going to call you back when I'm outside, he says. No phone service in an elevator? Yeah, I know, but he said, I'm going to call you back when I'm outside as he walks into the elevator. I don't know, man. Masvidal has a really distinct voice. So, I don't know. Usman probably did see him, but didn't react quick enough to create the situation. I don't know, man. Usman knew it was him. Who else dresses like that? I don't know. Listen. You know, maybe John Anik was having a casual day. You never know. Masvidal was wearing sunglasses too. I mean, it's fair enough. I'm giving Usman the benefit of the doubt. But it's, I know, it's close, man. It's close. It's definitely arguable. What about Leo Santos versus Khabib, 4th degree black belt and pretty dangerous on the feet? I mean, it'd be interesting, but the problem is with those kind of predictions, they can be a good matchup for him all they want. Are you a good enough fighter to get to the position to be in a fight with Khabib? Like, you could maybe pick Leonardo Santos to beat Khabib. Fair play. He's got dangerous as fuck striking, 1-punch KO power, 4th degree, as you said, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Probably have a great chance. And he's a big 155er as well. Probably have a great chance. But you have to be a good enough fighter to even get there. Like, you have to test yourself against a guy like Gregor Gillespie, maybe not the best example, but Makhachev, you know, maybe not the best example, is somehow ranked number 11, even though he hasn't beat a single ranked opponent. Nay, a single opponent ranked inside top 25 when he fought them. Makhachev hasn't fought a single opponent inside. Ramos was 25, I think. He 100% saw him. I don't know. Nate, I think he probably did. Can't tell it's Masvidal without red shorts. You know, maybe, hey, sorry, I'm late, Guru. Do you think Mike Brown not being in the corner will affect Masvidal? I don't think Masvidal's going to be listening to too much technical advice that his other coaches can't just tell him anyway. So I doubt it. If Masvidal wins, Conor and Masvidal will break all pay-per-view records, and I think Conor would finish him. Interesting. I just screenshotted the part of the embedded episode where Masvidal went into the lift. Usman was looking directly at him. Yeah, we watched that bit, but he was looking at his back, though. So, I don't know. Masvidal, 1 week notice. Yeah, that was not according to plan for him. Crazy. Hey, sorry for being a dick, Nathan, but it's spelled effect, not effect. Okay, here we go. All he had to do was look over and say, "Glad you made it, Jorge. Marty, a weirdo." I don't know, man. Usman's just, I don't know. Like, even with the whole Ben Askren thing, I think Usman has Down syndrome a little bit because of the head shape. There's definitely an extra few chromosomes in there because, I mean, you don't have a head that big if it's not for some kind of, like, something's taken up the space in that massive head, you know? So it's got to be a few extra chromosomes. But still, he's just, I don't know. Even with the thing with Ben Askren where he said, I do not know what you're talking about. And then he posts the video of him doing it to him. Like, it's weird to me. It's just very strange. Notice how I did this when I was doing Usman. Just really hunched over, elbows forward, you know. That's how Usman sits every time. Usman is definitely on the spectrum. I mean, he's somewhere. Hair and voice and Fighter Hotel looked away immediately. Usman talks about this in his interview with Brett and lied. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't matter if he wins and no one cares if he's a liar and if he lied about being in poverty because, you know. Crazy. What are your main card predictions? Quick! Go to my video where I predict them, but I'll give you them right now in record fast fucking time. Martin Day, Carol Rosa, Howlian Paver, Marcin Tybura. Wait, no, Romanov. Oh, wait, no, the new guy. Tybura then. We'll go with Tybura again because this Grisham guy, I think, is a light heavyweight in a different promotion. Let me see. Max Grisham. Yeah, light heavyweight. What promotion was he from, though? PFL, yeah, there you go. That's where I recognize this cunt. I remember him in the same card as... I watched APFL and him and Lins were on there, and that's how I knew Lins was originally a light heavyweight as well. I mean, it's interesting. Listen, there's interesting matchups all round, you know. Very interesting indeed, you know. Thoughts on Gianni Walker? He's good. He's actually okay. Like, in his fight with Nikita Krylov, he's not elite, don't get me wrong. And to do some of the stuff that he was doing to Misha Serkinov against the elite level guys, even if he rematches Serkinov, I don't know if the fight goes the same way, but I don't know. He's good. I think if he takes some time, he can be really good. You know, really, really good. Like, he's had some bad losses, don't get me wrong, but listen. The way the light heavyweight division works in the UFC, let me find Johnny Walker. How old is he? I think he's like 28 or something, I want to say. 27. 28 years of age, just turned in March. Not just turned, but 28 years of age. He was 27 when he fought last. 28. Light heavyweight, you've got until around 34 before it starts trickling down, unless you're Glover Teixeira. But you got around until 34. It's interesting. Obviously, Thiago Santos as well, but you know, it's a kind of a different kind of genetic because he looks like he's 20 years of age. But 28 years of age. He's had a few TKO losses now. I think if Walker really came back at the end of the year against, let's say, if he came back against the loser of Smith versus Rakic, and it was Smith, and Smith was looking to get back in there again, I just found any way to volunteer Anthony Smith to lose to Johnny Walker. But I think Smith would lose to Walker if he lost to Rakic and got TKO'd. You know, might be a bit too much damage for him. Or maybe if... I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think Johnny Walker's good, man. He just shouldn't have been chucked in there. But then again, Anderson landed one fucking punch. And Johnny Walker was, like, mocking him as well. Like, sticking his tongue out, laughing at him, moving backwards, and he got caught with a punch. That fucking happens. He went 3 rounds with Krylov. Even though it was a good win from Krylov, he was tough. You know, he flipped him over. Did a good reverse sweep on the ground and ended up in full mount. I mean, if he was a bit better, then maybe that would be a bit better, but who knows? Johnny Walker streams non-stop on Twitch to like free viewers. Interesting. Is this staying up? It depends. Are you on the Viagra? Do you think Masvidal will sit out and not fight Colby if he wins? Because Walker isn't good, man. No, he's not great. He is good, though. He's a good fighter. He's got a decent record and he's fought decent opponents, but I just don't think he's great. You know, he's not a great fighter. You have to be great, and if you want to be top 5, you know. Guru, I bet $10 on 12 straight draws. Nice. Yan versus Dillashaw prediction. Yan. Dillashaw coming back after a 2-year layoff is going to be a problem for me. I already was worried about his chin in his career. But to come back after 2 years and then go into someone with some power, it's tough. I think if Dillashaw really wants a nice way back in, Sandhagen Cruz winner would be the ideal scenario for him. I don't know why they don't realize that. I wish I could get on the phone to him. I should be the UFC fucking matchmaker, man. These guys need to listen to me because I would set out their careers for them. These matchmakers, I guarantee you this is what they do. We want you to fight this guy on this day. You don't like that date? Well, what about this day? Well, how about this much money? You don't like that much money? Well, how about this much money? Well, you don't like that much money? Okay, say hello to Bellator. Oh, you don't like Bellator? Okay, you do like this much money. Here you fucking go. And then, even at Bellator, they get paid less anyway. But still, they're fighting lesser competition, so it's easier for them to make their win bonus. But still, I don't know. I feel like I'd tell these fighters, here's what we fucking want to do. You know? Hey, we're going to do this. And that's going to lead to this. And you're going to fight the winner of these two guys. And then the winner of that one gets a title shot. Like, I think if they know an end goal for what I'm putting them against, they will be more inclined to take the fights. And I don't think that's what the UFC is doing to these guys. Like, if I told Cruz and Sandhagen, hey, you win this fight, you're going to fight TJ Dillashaw when he comes back. That's going to be a huge fight. And then if you win that one, we'll give you a title shot again. 100% they're going to commit to that full journey. But if you're just telling them, hey, you versus this guy, we'll see what happens afterwards, we don't know, then fuck you. You're not paying attention to your division. You know? Do you agree with Joe Rogan that win bonus... I'm saying fuck you to the matchmakers, not the fighters. You agree that Joe Rogan that win bonuses shouldn't exist or at least be less % of total payout? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, you've got to find a way to vent out the losers. You know? That's just the case in every single industry and career. Like, if you really think about it, them losing is them failing their job. Their job is to win a fight. You know? That's what they train to do. That's what they've been trained to do. They've trained themselves. You've just got to apply the same logic that you apply in the fight game to every other job in the world. You know? If you are losing and failing at your job 3 times a year, you're lucky if you aren't fired in the first place. You know? Like, if you win, you're going to keep on. That's just how it works. But I like the win bonuses. Here's what I do think, though. Maybe it could be a bit less than 50-50 or more than 50-50 or less than not 50-50. I don't know how to say more or less, but maybe it could be 60% show money and then 40% win bonus. Something like that. You know, that's what prelims are for. I mean, I don't get it. And also, if you're good enough, you eventually negotiate to just get your show money. Like Dustin Poirier made how much to show and then less to win. Like, you can have those kind of deals for yourself. These guys just have no idea how to negotiate themselves at all. And that's the real problem. You know, you look at some of these guys and their contract doesn't change after they're done. Like, what do you think is going to fucking happen? The UFC is going to offer to pay you more? Why would they ever do that? They're a business. They focus on making money and keeping their business alive. If you don't ask them, they're not going to give it to you. And Paige Van Zandt came out, and I said this in my Paige Van Zandt prediction video against Amanda Ribas. She came out at latest MMA news. I'm not saying she came out as a lesbian, but she came out on latest MMA news and said that, let me find the actual article so I can see what exactly she fucking said, the dumb bitch. No offense, but still, dumb bitch. Paige Van Zandt loves the UFC, but I could have just had a regular job with the same pay over the past 6 years. You've showed up to work twice in the past 4 years. You're lucky to have a job. It's no wonder this doesn't pay you the same as a normal job, because you guess what you do in a normal job? You show up at 9 a.m., you go home at 5 p.m. 8 hours a day, slaving away every fucking day. You showed up twice and you take ass pics. That's it. Rightfully so, you should get paid the same and get a regular job and get paid the same. You showed up twice in 4 years. Am I wrong? It's fucking like, what the fuck are you talking about? Show up, like these guys that show up twice a year. Adesanya showed up 5 times. That's how he got a title shot so quickly. That's how he got his contract improved so quickly. That's why he got his name value up so quickly. These fighters are showing up once a year and like, why am I not a millionaire? Name someone who shows up to work once a year and is a millionaire. You know? Makes no sense. And I'll name you Lewis Hamilton. Have you placed your parlay yet, or are you waiting for the weigh-ins? Is this stream staying up? Yeah, for sure. Ribas is hotter anyway. No, he's a professional entertainer. She's a nobody. Very interesting. Fighters should strike at the end of the Reebok deal. Perfect timing. Guru, is it just me? yeah, definitely strike at the end of the Reebok deal. But don't strike at the UFC. Just strike at the Reebok deal. Don't go at the UFC. Because if you go at the UFC, you're going to have a bad relationship with your boss and you're not going to get what you want. Strike at the sponsorship situation. Speak up about the sponsorship situation. As soon as the Reebok deal is out the window, every fighter should have been secretly DMing each other. Everyone post that we want to be signed with this, or we want to be able to do this. And if they all do it, then it's, I don't know, what the fuck are they doing? And also these fighters act like they don't get... There's another thing that they lie about. We don't get our own sponsors. Reebok's the only thing we can wear. How many promotional videos have you seen them do on their Instagram? How many different sponsors have they got? You mean Reebok is allowing Colby Covington to sign with Bang energy drinks? No. You're allowed to have other sponsors. These dummies just don't know, whatever. I'm acting like I'm smart, but I would have no idea what to do. But I'm dumb. I'd be dumb in the business world looking for sponsors. But like, you're not so focused on Reebok. Fair enough, in the cage, that's where you're losing it out, but they get their sponsorships elsewhere, you know? Like, how many sponsors do all of these guys have? Cowboy Cerrone's still sponsored by Budweiser. No problem with Reebok there. You just don't have a clothing sponsor. That's it. Find other ways of sponsoring yourself. Your clothes that you wear are not the only thing that you have attached to you. Like, it's whatever. I'm done. I'm getting angry. But they paid for the eyes on the fight. They get paid for the eyes on the fight. It's true. And the UFC is bigger than them. It's the truth. The UFC is bigger than them. Rightfully so. The UFC put in the work and they made sure they were bigger than the fighters that fight for them. They get the money. It's how fucking business works, man. Too many communists nowadays. Mr. Communist Masvidal, Bolsheviks Masvidal over here, hates communism, can smell out a communist from miles away or wants to start a fighters union against his company. Mr. Anti-Communist. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, Super Skunk. Anyway, back to this. I hope Masvidal KOs Usman. Sorry, Masvidal fans. Fucking hell. I'm just a hater. Venom, Nike, or Under Armour are the considered brands which you prefer, Guru. I'll go with Nike. I have no idea what Venom is. The bad guy from Spider-Man is probably the best guess that I would have from there. But Nike, I know Under Armour. AJ is sponsored by Under Armour. But wasn't Garbrandt sponsored by Under Armour? Wasn't there that happening? And Garnu was sponsored by him? So what happened there? Today, I'm assuming they just found that Cynthia Calvillo was sponsored by them at one point as well, I believe. I don't know, man. I think these fighters are dumb. Not dumb, but just not geniuses. I'm not smart in that case. I have no idea what I would do if I was a fighter and I was looking for sponsors, but you just got to look up some stuff, I guess, guys. You know, look up how you can read your contract. Have you double read your contract? Make sure you read your contract a third time. But Nike, I'd go with. Me imagining Marty KO'd makes me happy. Same here, dude. Yeah, that was a drink, not the clothing brand. Oh, it was a drink. Fair enough. Hall versus Lamas thoughts. I think Lamas beats it. I don't think Hall's that good, man. I really don't. I saw Saul Rogers shut him the fuck down. Like, not even Saul Rogers just won the fight. Like, he literally was on the ground with this jiu-jitsu phenom in Ryan Hall, which I know he's a jiu-jitsu phenom, but applying it in MMA is a completely different story when you've got a guy punching you. I watched Saul Rogers shut him down. Saul Rogers is not an elite fighter. He's very good. But I think Lamas at least has the veteran status. If Elkins can avoid the situation, I think Lamas can avoid it and implement it back. Not jiu-jitsu-wise, but just damage-wise. So I think that Lamas would beat him. If there's a finish, is it Masvidal or Usman? Probably Masvidal. Masvidal if there's a finish, for sure. I don't think Usman finishes him. You act like... hurt myself. You act like he can't improve and grow from a loss years ago. Chill, Guru. How old is he? 34? 35, sorry. Yeah, improvement. Rapid. 35. I hear that's when they make the most improvement, once they hit 35 years of age. Yeah. Yeah, he's just only going to get better at jiu-jitsu at 35, you know? I mean, that's just the age. I hear that's actually the age. I agree with you, you know? 35 is when things really take off. Like, a lot of these guys retire at 33 because they think they're leaving their prime. Little do they know, there's another prime at 35. And if you stick around long enough, like Tony Ferguson and Glover Teixeira, you can get back into it. You know, it's all about ups and downs. I'm with you, man. I agree. I wish Hall would have ripped the ACL off Burgos. Okay. All right, dude. Why would you want that? What, just as punishment because Emmett hurt his ACL? MVP versus Michael Page. I'll go with MVP for sure. His dad touched kids. I don't know why I'm coming out of all of this on this stream, but Michael Venom Page's dad was a pedophile. Chronic serial pedophile in the UK. Do you guys know about that? I don't think you guys know about that because that was something I heard through London. Not through online stuff. Like, my friend told me about that. And I don't even know. He's not even that big into MMA. He told me about that. Michael Venom Page's dad is a chronic serial pedophile. Like, he is. Look it up. Hang on a second. Let's look it up. Michael Venom Page. Dad. He died. I feel bad. Michael Venom Page's father accused of raping. 2017. Here we go. All the way back. Being accused of rape by several women. I mean, accused. Curtis Page is presently facing 22 historical sex charges, being charged with 6 rapes, 14 indecent assaults, and 2 counts of sex with minors under the age of 13. I mean, sorry to break this one to you guys, but this has been known about Michael. This is why Michael Venom Page isn't liked in the UK. No one gets behind him here, and this is why. I heard from Reddit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that was weird to break at the end of my stream, but I'm going, guys. See you later. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't think anyone knew that. So I just thought I'd let you guys know. No one already knows it, you know. Yeah, this ain't news to me. Yeah, some people will know if they're in the right threads, you know, but my friend told me about it ages ago. Like, before I was even that deep into MMA. MVP, I was watching a highlight of his way back when. And so I said, oh, his dad's a pedophile. I was like, oh. Okay, cool. I looked it up and there it was. All of the cases. What a closer. Yeah. And now, guys, it's time to go. And now we've finished our pedophile shaming segment. It's time to go. Next week, Chris D'Elia. I'm joking, he's innocent of illegal stuff. I don't actually know, but we'll see what happens with Chris D'Elia. We'll find out. He seems like he's in the clear, though. You know, Joe Rogan's going to pull a couple strings. See what happens. I think Blades is next heavyweight champ. Wow, my sister's boyfriend met MVP. Dangerous. Never know if it runs in the family. Calm down. Goodbye. See you later, guys. Toodle pip. Yes, indeed, Matty Love. Toodle pip. I'll see you later, guys. I hope you appreciate the 2-hour stream. Who's the Como? I don't know what Como is. Governor Como? What a fucking lying liberal cuck. Goodbye.